champagne. Purple cups and 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 champagne. Champagne.
Ladies and ugly men, welcome to Purple Cups and Champagne. I'm your host, Handsome Contreras.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Josh, FA the Product, SoundCloud, and Instagram sometimes.
I love the and Instagram sometimes.
Sometimes. I gotta be real.
What's going on, everybody? Security John Cheddie, a.k.a. the Brown Pat Riley. You see me with my buff shoulders right now? Oh, no, that's not me.
Guys, for some odd reason, Cheddie is off camera this week, but we do have a special guest.
Very special guest.
Yes.
And it's his birthday. Yeah. Ladies and ugly men, the host of Hip Hop Advocates, Chris.
Yo, what's up, everybody? First of all, everybody, thank you for having me.
Of course, man.
I follow the show.
Why you got a sexy voice on, dogs?
You know, I'm trying to get into character.
He's competing with hand. That's why.
What the fuck is going on here?
Are you trying to take his spot, man?
Nah,
you trying to take the whole spot?
I just got
This guy sounds like me and looks like Joe Budden.
Yeah.
I get that. I do get that, man. I get that.
That's your WBLS voice.
But, yo, guys, thank you for having me. I love this show.
For sure, man. I appreciate that.
Yo, you guys see me on the Advocates show?
Yeah, man.
Tell us about that, dude.
Well, the Advocates show is just basically a group of is DJ, producers, MCs. We all got together and we're like, yo, we're always talking about music together. We've owned studios together. And we were like, yo, let's just sit down and do something else. Because we're still doing music now. But we're like, we have the studio.
Amazing.
It's a big space. Let's utilize it for something else.
Facts.
Yeah, shout out to Heads Up, man, because we'll be
back.
We restarted our podcast there.
Yeah, we'll be back.
So shout out to Reels.
Yeah.
Chris,
Let me
show this bottle here real quick.
Pop
I'm gonna
that
pop this
shit,
for you real
man,
quick.
yo.
Yes, sir.
Woo.
There you go.
Do you think cupcake?
How you know,
Why
man?
would you buy a cupcake?
I'm a sweet guy.
I like how you guys
I'm a
have
sweet
different
guy.
bottles every time, man.
We try.
Yeah, man. We try.
Because I think if I found
nice
the perfect
Prosecco.
bottle, I probably would have stuck to it. But
No,
you guys are
it's because
adventurous.
Handsome has money.
You got
Exactly.
Yeah, for these $11 bottles, I'm killing the game.
What you talking about, man? Why you trying to be humble, man?
Nah, you're right.
Thank you.
Let's just say they call me Champagne Poppy and not that Champagne Poppy. They got mad excited right now watching the show. Like, I knew it. We
That's
both
my
love
nigga
it.
right there.
He's a big Drake fan.
Yeah.
What?
His name is OVO Diggs.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I seen that on
Yeah,
Instagram.
his name is OVO Diggs. It's I'm ashamed of that. You know, I'm supposed to be his mentor, but
Don't worry.
it didn't all work out. You know.
So that's actually something that I do like on the Hip Hop Advocates, that you guys are real hip hop heads. Like y'all.
This is the show you always plug. I'm always trying to cut this shit off. It's your show?
Yeah,
Get
man.
the
It's me,
oh,
yo.
come on, man. Yo, no free promo up on this shit. Damn it, man.
Damn.
This invite
Fucked up.
backfired.
You fucked up. They set you
Yo,
up.
we're
Cheddie
two
set
of
you
the-
up.
We're two of the same, man. We
Facts,
we got
facts,
great content,
Hell
and,
yeah.
and we all have.
And y'all always support us.
Nah,
You
it's a
know, we
fact,
try to
man.
support
Nah,
y'all
facts,
as
man.
well.
I love that. I love that relationship that we got.
fact, though.
Because we're all just trying to do the same thing.
Facts.
Put out great content.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that podcasting is easy. It might be easy, but having content and being consistent is hard.
Yeah.
I think
You
the
know.
chemistry is something that is mad underrated. You know,
Oh,
in
yes,
podcasts
yes.
and stuff
Hey,
like
shout
that.
out
That's
your-
what makes it seem easy.
Your co-host.
Yeah, your co-host. Absolutely.
Well, we have John Figs and we have Erupt.
In your butt.
That's what I was waiting for. Cheddie took my line.
Yo, that's something that he was saying the first few episodes, man. That shit came out of nowhere.
Did you have a talk on him after or something? Say
No,
that?
man, I just let him run.
Yeah,
I just let him run with
Yeah,
it. Like,
that's
do
the me in the
can't
show.
be
That's
buddy
the me in the
roughing, man.
that's the
do
me in
his
the
thing.
show.
And he's a
Josh
big
on
Drake fan
SoundCloud.
too.
It's crazy because
Erupt is a big Drake fan?
He's a big Drake fan.
I wouldn't never tell, dude.
Yeah,
'cause
me
when
either.
I hear him rapping, it's more like rap. He's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
rapper.
Yeah, we do the rap, but I guess because Drake's success and his songwriting abilities
No,
and all
Drake-
that.
You got to respect him because Drake is
Yeah.
he can rap. Like, Drake can spit.
Drake is Drake. Uh-oh. You paused.
Yeah, I want to toast to you.
Nah,
real
what I
quick.
was gonna see where you were going with it.
nah, nah.
Just to, like-
Well,
Let's
toast
just toast,
to
man.
having Chris on the show. Happy
Absolutely.
birthday, man.
Birthday,
Absolutely,
man.
yo, guys,
Cancer
thank you.
season
Happy
in
birthday
full
to you,
effect.
Shout out to the Hip Hop Advocates.
By the way,
Absolutely.
happy birthday to my niece Adele. Turned 9 today.
Happy birthday.
Beautiful little girl. You guys start off cancer season, man.
It's
a
Mama Cheddie's
emotional
birthday
time.
yesterday, so happy birthday, Mama.
Yeah, happy
Damn
birthday,
right.
for sure. Happy birthday, Mama Cheddie.
Hey,
as
your
well.
mom missed the cutoff.
She gonna love that.
Wait, is she a cancer?
So check this out. So My mom thought that my older nephew, he was supposed to be born and be a Gemini, right? My mom used to always say, I'm a Cancer like my son. She used to say that all the time.
Yeah.
So when she thought Mike was going to be born, she was like, yep, I'm going to be a Gemini like my grandbaby. She said the shit in front of my face. Mike was born earlier than he was supposed to be. So she tried to come back to be Cancer season, so I've kicked her out completely. I was like, you know I'm wrong and strong, baby. I'm actually not wrong. I'm not wrong here. I'm right.
Nah, it's Petty Cheddie. It's
Nah,
Petty Cheddie.
Keep her out.
Yeah,
I'm
keep
with
her
you.
out. Yeah,
I haven't heard that one, Petty Cheddie.
Yeah.
I mean, you may have given me life, but you're wrong.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, man. So shout out to her. Shout out to everybody, you know.
Yeah,
Having
man.
birthdays and
And
stuff.
shout out to all the dads, man. We just had Father's Day.
How was your Father's Day?
This past.
Father's Day was cool, man.
Yeah.
It was cool. It's not as hype as Mother's Day.
Yeah,
But
that's for sure.
you know,
For sure.
Yo,
you make the best out of it.
For sure. For sure.
I actually got blessed this year, so I can't talk too much shit.
Oh,
Yeah. Usually I
got
get
a
shitted on.
You got a post too. I saw that.
Yo, come on,
I
man.
saw that, man.
Yo.
He had his loafers on.
Things are looking up.
I saw that.
Things
He
are
was
looking up, man.
I see you, man. I see you, man.
Hansom's changing the game.
Somebody see the numbers.
I ain't saying nothing, but baby number 2 look like a possibility.
Putting numbers on the board.
Baby shower coming soon.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that? It's like at the same time we're men. You know what I mean? Like we're men, so like
We don't expect anything.
yeah. When people say like Happy Father's Day, I obviously appreciate anybody who ever says that to me.
This is your second Father's Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one
to
didn't
me
feel
it's his
real.
third
How?
because Brenda was pregnant that Father's Day. That first
Oh,
Father's
yeah,
Day.
yeah.
So I hate when people do that shit because
okay.
there's a fucking baby in there, man.
I'm actually the opposite of you. I thought that last year was even like, because I was barely a father. Like I think you got to put in work to be a father. You know what I'm saying? Like
My
I was
nigga,
barely
This
putting
nigga
in
had a
work.
kid and said, "I'm barely a father." Were
Does.
you barely a father at 1 week?
Nah, it's a lot of work still.
Yeah. Well, he had 2 of them shits at one time.
Yeah,
Isn't that?
facts.
Aren't you more of a father like,
Now.
when in the
Now.
now you feel like you are? Okay.
I feel like the first 2 weeks is like the baby just waking up, shitting.
Like I've been
clean up.
depressed since Penelope was
Like,
born.
but
So,
it's like I
I've
said.
been a father.
It's like I said. Like as men, we don't really like look for that kind of like. I mean, we should get it to some extent because that's probably leads to a lot of other problems and shit. But we don't really get like
Flowers.
I wouldn't even be looking for that shit. You know what I mean? Like we're just like, yo, put your head down, do your job.
But Josh, that's your characteristic too. Like you don't even want anybody to say.
No,
happy
you're
birthday
right.
to
To
you.
some extent, it is me.
Like,
But
that's
it's
your birthday. You don't want anybody to say happy birthday to you.
yeah.
Handsome's a whole other beast because he
Single
will say his
Marshall,
birthday all year.
You
and
wanna
then when
keep
his
talking
birthday
about that.
does come, he'll be like,
Cheddie not gonna let you live.
he'll
that
hide
down.
underneath the bed.
Yo,
Don't mention it.
Don't post
Don't-
anything
don't
on my
talk about
birthday.
it.
Right.
That's funny, man.
No,
but let's be honest though. Us as men, we don't really want all that fanfare. But yes, we'll have something.
Yeah.
But we don't want that fanfare the
That's
way
facts.
women have it.
That's facts.
So when you say that, you don't really you don't expect too much.
Yeah.
I feel you on that.
Yeah, exactly. But you're right. It's like yeah, sure, we should get for sure. There should be some appreciation. Like yo, we're human, man. You know. But it's the same thing. Like with the men and women. Like the way we are with women is like. Even though things are changing and things are supposed to be equal, whatever, but like there's still that division of like, yo, men are supposed to take care of women. You're supposed to like be that in that role, whatever. So we don't really ask for a lot. We don't really ask for a lot of like, oh, show me that, it's a big day for us or whatever.
Well, even look at that shit. That's probably why it's over celebrated because they're always constant, especially now. Like before, like I said, you wouldn't see a lot of that shit. Now everything is mom life. Oh, my life is so difficult.
Hanson has a problem with that mom life shit.
I can't take it. I need 10 vacations.
And I need to drink a bottle of wine and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
like you know what I mean. So
Facts.
it's almost like the media's, or which one came first? Like which is the chicken or the egg, right?
Yeah,
so is it them needing that attention, or now they're feeding into like, nah, I'm the best thing ever. Like this
could be
is
both.
my shit.
It could really be both.
So you're saying the squeaky wheel gets the oil?
100%.
yeah. Exactly.
Yo, damn, this guy got some good like
That's
dad
a good
fucking
metaphor.
sayings,
That's
man.
a good metaphor. That's like
What's good for the
Dad, like,
goose
yo,
is
yo,
good for the gander.
Yo. The crying
Save
baby
that for the
gets the
kids.
milk. You
Save
heard?
that-
That's a fact. Open mouth, don't get fed.
Yo, if you got bars like that, man, when you tell your kid, like, give him advice,
Damn,
man,
you've
you're
been
gonna
a
kill it, son.
you've been a
You're gonna kill it, son.
You've been at that long, man.
Yo, I guess it's been 6-7 years, man.
Yeah, but it's double duty, so it counts for like 12.
Yo, I used to have hair before the kids. Not hair no more.
Yo, I always tell him, like, yo, he set me up, man. Kind of like, yo, I can't wait till you have kids. I'm like, why you do this to me, man? Without giving me the details. I'm not saying I regret anything about my son. I'm just saying it's a lot of
Not at
work.
all.
It's a lot of work. A lot more work than you ever think, you know?
I always try to gas anybody up, like, yo, it's the best thing ever. Like, your life will be so different. You'll find meaning, blah, blah, blah.
That is true.
I never,
All of that's
it is true, but I don't
All
give
that
you
is
the other
true.
shit.
That's
Yeah, exactly,
crazy.
yeah.
I can't give you the other shit because you'll be like, get the fuck out of here. Sleep? I don't get sleep?
I remember
think-
when the kids would wake up like at 6 in the morning, I had to make them, the milk, the formula.
Yeah.
So mine was times 2. So it was like 3 ounces of milk, times through, but divided by 5. And I was doing a fucking formula, and I would come through with some 2 bottles of bullshit, at 6 in the morning, and I'm like, come over here. And then sometimes I would giving the bottle to the kids, and I wake up and the milk is all over them, and they're crying, and I'm like, damn, I gotta do better.
Dominican
Yo,
dad.
I gotta do better.
I've done shit like
and
that.
I have.
Yo,
I've done shit like
I
that.
remember when Chris first told me that him and Rose were having twins, and he was like, "Yo, man," he was obviously, it's a lot of pressure. You know what I mean? We're talking like, as friends, and I'm sitting here as a guy with no kids saying, "Yo, you'll be fine, man. You'll be great." And I'm like, I'm fucking nervous, just as nervous as you are, probably, and not more than you, but obviously, And then he goes, "Yo, Cheddie, man, I just got the Beamer. I just got the PlayStation. Like, what the fuck?" I was like, nah, man. I can't. I had nothing to say. I remember just looking at him like, nah, dog.
Yo, yeah,
That can't happen.
But like
that can't
now,
be the way.
but now though, man, like seeing him like as a dad, like it's dope,
Yeah,
man.
dog.
It's dope.
Wanna
Like,
figure it out.
seeing all you guys as fathers is dope. Like,
Yeah,
it's
thank
just,
you, Cheddie,
in your own way. Like Hanson will literally put up our brunch banter, and Penelope will be in the back just
Facts.
kicking it. You know what I
That's my
mean?
homie,
And it's
man.
just like,
That's
yo, and she
shit's
like,
real.
and
You
she
know,
knows
that's your
like,
homie.
Yeah,
Right there.
exactly.
and she knows that this is my pops, my homie.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
doing it.
That's
You know
just his
what I
way.
mean?
That he's just being him. You know what I'm saying?
100%,
I was gonna
man.
say one thing is I see you like playing with your son and or coaching your son. I think in baseball.
Yeah, man.
It's fucking
yeah.
ill, man. It brings me back to being a kid and like having my father.
Man, he was like,
Hold up, there's
hip hop advocates.
There's more to that. Yes.
Yeah.
I want to know how much is my godson getting paid to say hip hop advocates? Because we will double that to have him say Purple Cups of
Yeah,
Champagne.
facts.
Yeah, I didn't tell him to do none of
That
that.
was fire. That
And
was fire.
when I asked him why he wanted to do that, he said because I want to support my dad.
That's
Yeah, that's
amazing.
Yo, that's
son.
it. It
That's
made my heart feel
amazing.
so
Nah,
warm.
That's amazing, son. Yeah,
That's
word.
it.
So
I can imagine.
So a 6-year-old knows how to support his dad, but some of my niggas don't know how to support him.
Yes.
got it.
Oh, damn.
Well, we need the sound. We need the
got
sound. Boom, boom, boom.
Yo,
The
yo, yo,
horns,
yo, yeah.
the guns.
And
gunshots.
I'm back, baby.
The NPC, you heard?
The
Facts.
fucking Joe
Yo,
Budden
can you
shit.
do that with Serato?
Yeah, I can. I got
Yo,
it right now. And
next week,
I'm
I'm
back,
gonna connect the mic to
baby.
your laptop.
100%.
Nah, for
Yo,
real, we don't
that's-
need your support though.
that's- That's fire, though.
Let's jump into brunch
Yeah,
banter,
since we were talking about it with Penelope,
because
you
that's
posting it,
exactly
yeah.
what has to
No,
go
well,
on.
well, I want to know, like,
Yeah.
why is Father's Day so underappreciated? Like that was like my
What do you mean? Why?
that was like my question, because like, look, each one of us have different relationship with our fathers,
Yeah.
right? But
Who?
everybody has
Bobby.
everybody has a different relationship with their pops, and it's like, yo, I feel like now like more dudes are like stepping up and just being like involved,
I don't like that.
because it became because
What?
because
No,
in-
I don't like that
I'm thinking
narrative.
about
We've
but
been
us-
stepping up.
You think
right?
we've been stepping up? Okay,
I
Okay,
think
okay.
right now.
I agree.
Because why is it that I have a lot of friends that don't have a relation? Like, I have friends that don't even mention their father. Like, at least, like, my father and I, we don't have the best relationship that I wish we had, but I still have stories to be like, yo, like, the other day, this nigga called me, he was just like, yo, his way of talking to me was like, yo, the Yankees play today? And I'm like, dogs, you have it, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's his way to try to talk to
Nah, I
you.
get
You know
it.
what I mean?
That's the
Where
old school
it's like-
shit. That's the old school
right,
shit,
but we
really.
have, right, he think I'm one of his hoes.
Yeah.
But, it's one of those things that it's like, yo, but I have certain friends that like they don't even mention like a story about their pops.
But that still goes on,
Okay.
and that's kind of my.
They better talk about. If I have kids, they better talk about me all the time,
Yeah.
man. But like just like
Yeah.
with you guys, because you guys are around, though.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure you would.
you know what I
obviously,
mean?
yeah.
But things are different now, I feel like. And I know you said otherwise. I feel like now we definitely are more involved, because back in the day, the role of the woman was really more to take care of the kids and almost all the needs of the kids. And the dad was there just providing and like, hey, what's up?
Yeah,
some
yeah.
shit like that. But
Yeah.
now you see us everywhere. I'm fucking doing a ponytail on my baby girl's hair. Like we're everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
I see how you with your girl.
Yeah.
Man, it's beautiful.
Yeah, facts.
But we definitely stepped
That's
it
a
up.
good point. No, that's a good point.
Or is it that
I'm gonna agree
social
with you.
media is showing it more?
That's an aspect I think. I'm gonna let Hanson give his point across as well, though. First,
No, no.
but I agree with you.
Go ahead,
I agree.
go ahead, yeah,
Okay, what I was gonna
we're on
say
the
was
same page.
not only that. I feel like there's a lot of, because people promote like narratives and stuff like that, like on because of social media and stuff. I feel like people nowadays, like if you have a group of friends and you have a guy who's kind of like falling off, I think it's a lot more like looked down upon. While back in the day, maybe in the 90s, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I feel like 90s.
No, you're not.
I feel like it was like, maybe it's not the coolest thing, but it was acceptable. A lot more
Right,
acceptable.
right,
Nowadays,
right.
people don't, even your own friend circle won't accept that kind of
But
shit. For
but
you
I
to be
think
that
there's
way,
also still fathers out there that like do the social media dad thing, but then they probably
Suck.
aren't.
Nah,
real
facts.
life.
I know a few.
Like
I
that
know a
movie,
few.
like that movie, right? That who posted that movie?
know a few.
Movie with the Wayne's brother.
Yes, when
Shawn Wayne, he's like, remember that?
Shout out to Edgar.
Yeah.
He picked up the kid. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm here to pick up my kid.
And he picked him
picks
up and put him
he
out.
puts him back
I'll
down.
be here
All
next
right,
week. Yeah, I'll be here next week to pick up
That's
my kid
horrible,
again.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
But I definitely know a few dudes who post a lot of like good stuff
Yeah.
of them doing
Facts.
things with their kids, but in reality,
know
I
in
know
real
the
life, though.
backstory.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Right,
because they're part of my family, and you know how moms talk. Blah, blah,
Of
blah,
course, of course.
Comes back.
Say it in Spanish. How do you say it?
Yeah. Oye, tú
¿Tú sabes que fulanito pone unos videos ahí que está con su hija? Él la ve una vez al mes.
It
Él le
always
da
sounds
chiqui
better.
nugget. Él le da chiqui nugget para comer.
It always-
I'm like, tía, slow down.
At least he's giving him food,
Ese
man.
maricón ni sabe cocinar.
It always sounds better that way.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, even like Guyanese, we speak English, but they be like, his deadbeat skunt. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, you know, it sounds great.
Or Jamaicans, they be like,
Love
who
it.
am I? Just a girl, them sugar.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Lord of mercy.
You're wrong for that.
Cheddie, is that the sound effect, man?
I found
We
it
gotta
on-
buy some horns.
I found it on YouTube, and I pressed play, and I was like, oh no.
Oh boy, that was perfect. That was perfect for our first sound
You could
effect.
probably like edit right over that with the real horn.
That's what I'm going to do. Cut this whole part out.
Then it's gonna make no sense.
You remember the claps?
Our reaction's gonna make no sense.
I did that in the episode with Edgar.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, applause. That's
What you do? You put a real clap on it?
Yeah.
I put
the
applause.
applause, like a audience applause type shit.
I like your style.
It's mad work, though, man, so I'll stop doing that. Anyway, back to the show.
No, I want you gotta your point of it.
Again, because I think of people like Teodoro Salazar, right?
Yeah.
Like, I seen what he would do.
Shout out to him, by
With,
the way.
Yeah, with my cousin Hector Joel, right? Like, I'd seen him bathe him. I seen him feed him. I had
Yeah.
examples. Papa Andre.
Yeah.
Joshy's grandfather.
Facts.
Like, Giselle and I
R.I.P.
were having that convo. Like, he was one of the men that other Dominican men were looking like, what the fuck? Dude's washing hair, feeding the kids, putting them to bed.
Dog, no,
You're
pause.
sick. He's
he walk
there
in the
and
shower,
bells
like make sure that we wash our hair. Like
Was
the
that frowned
way.
upon back in the
that's
day?
frowned
It
upon,
was.
Yeah,
It
right?
was from other Dominican men and shit like,
Yeah, yeah.
Este tipo
Ese
una mujer.
trabajo de la mujer.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yo,
Exactly.
that's not I don't even think that's it's a cultural thing, because remember we had a teacher back in AV,
Caucasian?
and white boy, and he would say, like, he would tell us, he'd be like, I've never changed a diaper in my life. I got 4 kids, and he just like, and he was
Yeah.
like, proud of it. He was
Yeah.
like, yo, I don't do that. That's a woman's
Dude,
job.
I tell you, when
Crazy.
I would
That's straight
bathe, like she used to
That's
be
crazy.
like,
Yeah.
she used to be like, oh, you're gonna bathe her now? And I'd be like, yeah, let's do it right here in your parents' house, whatever. And I would be bathing Penelope and parting her hair, doing all that
Yeah.
shit, like taking out the tangles. And my father-in-law would pass by and just look like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
up with this loser?
I've been made fun of for the same shit. So even doing like the baby's laundry
But-
type shit, like yo,
so
dog.
my thing will be like, so when that teacher had told us that, I remember being like, but what happens if if you're alone with the kid and he shit himself, he's gonna get a rash. But he's looking at it, I'll never be alone with my kid. My woman's always there.
Yeah, that's her job type
That's
thing.
her
Like,
job
That's
to
what we
be
look
there.
at it.
Yeah, that's the way they look at
That's
it,
not the
right.
way. Yeah.
Right.
I think also though women have allowed men to do extra stuff, right? Because you gotta understand, a lot of women are like, yo, I got the
That's
kid
true,
shit.
too.
I don't trust you with the kid.
But this is why
They
Father's
leave you
Day-
a fucking list when you
Father's
go
Day
on a
needs to be
vacation.
celebrated more, though, because there are dudes that are like this. I won't say new generation of men, but
Yo,
like,
you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I'll say it again. It's a narrative. It's the same. When we get into like the brunch banter and all that shit, that's why I have a huge problem with it, because there's a lot placed on emasculating men, especially men of color, right? Hispanics, blacks, all that stuff, making you.
I agree with you
know
on that.
that were no good or something like that.
Yeah.
They want to keep it that way. Is what you're saying?
Not even that's no good. They're trying to make us more feminine. Right? So what they do? By doing that, you push the female to think they deserve to be doing the masculine role. So all like people don't realize a lot of this, yeah, we're equal shit. Da 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 da. You
But I
can do
don't think
anything
they
a man
can do
does.
the
Yeah.
masculine role.
But they don't know that. Why? Because they're fed something else. Where there should be a middle ground. Like you should be able to know, like, yo, this is my role. Again, it sounds mad old school. Giselle and I had this conversation, his cousin, because she's very big on that. She agrees. She's like, yo, I don't want to be taking out trash. I don't want to be doing
Should cut the lawn.
yeah,
water
fucking
the
changing
grass,
light bulbs.
yeah.
Like that should be my husband's job.
Cleaning the gutter, right?
Yeah, like I should be doing laundry. I should be doing dishes.
Bro.
If he assists, it's cool. But I know my role, and I like that role.
It's people playing roles. We were talking about it before the show. You know what I mean? Like if everyone knows their role and plays their role in general, sports and life and everything in the business, and people just understand the greater good and their role and what it means to like the whole company or whatever, the whole bigger picture. It makes everything just work better. You know what I mean?
I'm killing
So-
this producer shit. Shout out to Fa.
No,
I miss you, Fa.
Is that yo? Picture
Shout out to
everybody.
Fab. Shout out
Picture
to
everybody
Fab.
on the team trying to be the shooting guard.
That's what I mean.
Fuck are we doing
Exactly.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the
You're
same
looking like the Knicks 2 years ago.
I wasn't gonna say
Oh,
the Knicks.
boy.
2 years ago, I said.
But
2 years ago.
Can't believe you
Why they
mentioned
did
the
that?
Knicks.
Yeah, 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
We here now. I think their motto is some shit like that.
It is. We're
Right.
here now. Yeah,
Yeah, but
we're
they
here
are
now.
here now. Excellent team, New York.
They're not in the lotto.
Exactly.
First year in like 21 seasons.
I had
that
no
they're
idea
not-
the lotto was today because usually I would know like what pick the Knicks were having, who they may pick, what they may get,
Pick
and like I
number
had
7.
no idea.
I think you just don't give a damn.
Shout out to the Knicks. No,
Right.
but my friends
Facts.
do. My friend circle does. So it's like I didn't hear about it because it wasn't a thing.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is great. You don't want it to be a thing.
Yeah.
You know what
Nah,
I mean?
that's facts. That's facts.
Shout out to the Knicks. You want to get to brunch banter?
Yeah, we can just jump into
get
that.
right
Yeah,
into this
just
shit.
jump into that.
So the question this week in Brunch Banter.
Well, read it how I wrote it. How about that?
First of all, I'm not reading how he wrote
No,
it.
read it how you wrote it.
All right, this is mad disrespectful.
Cheddie's-
Women, stop wishing yourself Happy Father's Day. That was not the question.
Oh my god.
That's a statement.
Everything I wrote to the T, like the questions. That was the only. And I'm not even a father.
Yeah.
Women, stop wishing
You just feel
yourself
strongly about it.
I just feel strongly about it.
Well, we know what he
Oh my
voted.
God.
Well, here's my thing.
Ask the
We'll
question,
go
though.
go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead. You get into it.
Well, the question was, is it cool for mamas to wish themselves a happy Father's Day? And 59% it was?
I thought it was in the 60s.
Was it?
Oh,
Maybe over it again.
Maybe last second went up to
it
50
was, it was
something.
61.
Yeah.
It was 61 was the highest that it
to
got
39.
So here's my thing. I'm cool with if like say you have a single mother and that's just who raised you and like that's you're like, yo, you know what, my mom was my mom and my dad. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with the kid. I'm cool with the kid acknowledging it, but we'll get into that. But I just don't want because like sometimes I feel like I don't know the whole story where like, you know, the guy, like we said, the guy gets the bad rap, but like he could be trying and you're just being miserable and just don't want him around. You know what I mean? And it could be for different reasons. It could be because he moved on with another woman. But like he's still trying to be a part of it. Like I've seen, like I have friends that go through this stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's just kind of like, you know, trying to be back in the in their kid's life. Or
Let him go be a father to his 19-year-old hoe.
You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Scott Disick.
Yeah. Shout
oh
out to
damn,
word,
I seen
word.
that.
Shout out to the
man.
Lord.
Yeah,
Shout out to the Lord.
bananas.
She's 20 now.
Shout out to the
He was
Lord.
with her when he was 19. She was 39.
I mean, it's-
bananas.
He was celebrating her birthday for her.
Dollars. He
it's
gave her a
fucking
Capri Sun.
It's
He
easier
put the
for
straw
the
in it. He
female.
put the straw in it and everything.
It's easier for the female to use the children as you know, like I'm not gonna say a football, but like
1,000%.
you know, if you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
treat
for
me
sure.
right, you can't see the kid.
Yeah.
It's easier for them to do that,
Yeah.
and then but the children's perspective of the dad gets tarnished. You
Facts.
know,
Facts.
and that's happens
of
to
his
a lot
control.
of dads.
No question. It gets influenced. No question.
Yeah.
And the thing with that is, I feel like it's bugged out because I feel like it's pretty black and white for me. Like, there's a Mother's Day. If Mother's Day didn't exist, then okay, you'd be like, all right, I'm gonna celebrate my Mother's Day or my mother on this day. But Mother's Day existed already, so even if you only have a mom and there's no father figure in your life, you don't have to celebrate this day. If anything, it shows trauma, and that's sad. That's sad as shit that people actually like it exposes that.
But it's a real thing, though.
No, for
Right?
sure. I get it. But it's just, if you ask me what's right and wrong, I don't think that's the right thing to do because, like I said, Mother's Day actually just passed already. Obviously, we talk about how much everyone celebrates their mom. I think everybody celebrates their mom, you know, or women in general.
Well,
So,
we said, you know,
Every
think-
man, I
yeah.
think, celebrates their mom.
Yeah.
I think
see
as
more
sons,
women
we
struggle with-
all
Yeah.
have good relationships with them. Not good relationship, but
No,
like,
and there's even a narrative
It's a
built in, like, yo,
natural-
you know, the whole, you only have one mom.
mama's boy.
Yeah, exactly,
Right? Mama's
exactly.
boy.
You know, your mom,
A dad
your
is
mom is there for you no
replaceable.
matter what, and all of that kind of shit. You don't really hear those narratives with dads, which is whatever. But like I said,
But it's the truth.
everyone
That's
has
the
their
shit
day.
that
If they
push.
didn't have their day, then okay, that's one thing. But they have a day for that. If you don't have, I feel like if it worked out right, if you don't have a dad, sadly, obviously, on Father's Day, it's just not your day.
That's a good
I don't
example,
celebrate
Damn,
every.
that's
I don't,
a great
I don't,
point,
I don't have
yo.
to celebrate
Yeah.
every single.
I'm rocking
every
with
single
you on
holiday.
that one,
That's
man.
a good
Thank
one.
you, man.
They
Thank
have
you.
their own day already.
If it didn't exist,
All right, boom. Since everybody likes to use different terms like non-binary and all that good shit,
Yeah.
right? I'm just
It's
go with it.
It's getting
right?
complicated.
Because
it's getting spicy.
by non-binary terms, youth, a lesbian is just a person that likes women. So on fucking Pride Day, I go out and start posting, yo, number one lesbian in this bitch. Number one
You,
lesbian.
Exactly.
There's a problem with
Yeah,
everybody.
facts,
How dare you call yourself a lesbian?
Yeah, facts.
What's wrong with you? That's disrespectful. But you calling yourself a number one dad is
Yeah.
not? Even worse. Chris goes, yo, fuck that shit, yo. My wife ain't really doing what she got to do. Yo, Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day
Who
to
does
me.
that? Exactly.
Been
What
killing
guy
the
does that?
game.
Yeah, it's
We're
corny.
gonna
What
clown
guy
you.
does
corny.
that?
It's corny.
What guy would do that?
And I'm at fault. You can ask B-Man. I think I started the whole Father's Day for Mother's trend.
Okay.
Because I used to believe in
For
that
your mom.
shit. Yeah.
His mom, you know.
Oh, 8, dude. I remember posting on Facebook, like, yo, happy Father's Day to my mom. Because my mom did it all dolo with 3
Wow.
kids. Right? So
Respect.
I remember, and I saw it like, yo, my mother's a fucking G. And it wasn't until I would say like 4 or 5 years later. I remember B-Man posted with me like on 2009 because he had the same similar situation.
Facts.
Right? And then I remember like in 2012, it had to be where I was just like, yo, but that's mad disrespectful to mommy. Because not for nothing, that takes away from what the fuck she is as a mom. Like, my mother's a fucking beast.
Yeah.
Right? So I give it to her on Mother's Day.
She's a mom. She has her day.
Yeah,
exactly.
exa-
She has
yes.
Mother's Day.
Exactly
like
what
she
you said,
fucking
dude.
blew her up or not. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
Like that day.
Yo, Josh is so logical.
Yo,
I mean, that's why I'm a third member of Purple Cups.
What? And yes,
Some extent,
you
yeah.
know, cool. But Penelope will tell you it's Father's Day every day. Sharice will tell you it's Father's Day every day. Sharice has her dad on a pedestal, rightfully so, right? And I would hope my daughter does the same. But in the same light, we're used to that, right? Because daddy's girl. That's taught to us.
Yeah. That's the narrative
Yeah.
you're
Facts.
talking about also.
You got a great relationship with your dad, right? But that's not talked about enough.
Yeah.
Plenty of people got great relationships with dad, and it's not. You almost frown on somebody when they're like, "Yeah, me and my dad, it's cool." It's like, "Oh, you had your dad?
Yeah.
You're from the hood. You ain't supposed to have your dad."
Facts.
That's a bad
Yeah.
fucking
Because it's the
narrative.
narrative.
That's so
Because it's the
sad.
narrative.
That's so sad, though.
Because
Yeah.
it's the narrative. You're right. It is the narrative.
Every rapper, daddy wasn't home. Da-da-da-da-da.
Even if he was there. Like Drake. Remember Drake? Remember Drake's dad was like, "Nah, I was there."
You gotta
I had him every
Shout out to
weekend.
OVO Diggs.
He's trying to make the song sound spicy.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. No question. Daddy.
He still calls him daddy.
Daddy,
He's
exactly.
about to be 30. He
That's-
calls his dad
That I
daddy.
disagree.
And he does it with the lips.
Personally.
He's like, daddy. Like, dude.
He drags the D. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Pause.
Daddy.
Super pause.
Daddy.
Drags-
He drags the D. I'm over here mixing Henny with my champagne. Now, what was this? Oh, Walker, right?
Johnny
This
Walker,
guy brought
baby.
the hardship for his
yo,
birthday.
Facts. He double cupped there
Yo,
right now.
Yeah. I'm
These
done with the
Dominican niggas is
champagne.
crazy, son.
By the way, the champagne was great.
It was good, right?
Yo,
yeah.
man.
I thought the same.
Just so everyone knows.
Yo, why you hating?
Cupcake.
Yo, why you hating? Cupcake like that Kevin Durant.
It literally tasted like a vanilla frosting cupcake.
Oh, that's what it
I
was?
don't know about that, man.
Yeah, I made that up.
Yeah.
Nah, it didn't taste like... It just tasted normal.
It was just good.
That's good shit. That's fucking good.
All right, man. Let's keep it up.
Talking about holidays. Speaking of holidays, we just passed the holiday.
Yeah.
Another holiday.
What just passed? Let us know, Josh. What became official, which is pretty dope.
Well, Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a holiday that they, if I'm
I'm
not
black
mistaken,
and I'm proud, bitch.
yeah, absolutely. You can clap
We
for that.
clapping,
We
all right?
can clap for that. Why not?
We got black
Clap.
blood.
No, we
Yes.
definitely have black blood. You Dominican?
Dominicano, yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Do you acknowledge that you're African?
Yeah,
Okay,
man,
okay,
for
okay.
sure. We
Yeah,
got the
for
If
big
you see
lips.
his dad, you know the African.
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
he's dark?
That's a yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. My dad's dark too.
Oh, okay.
Well, we got we got the big lips and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
Chris,
we got
that's
the
pretty
big,
racist.
Yeah.
But,
And we,
Nah.
yo, look, I
Josh got
embrace
the
it.
big nose.
I embrace it all day,
I ain't gonna lie,
man.
but-
I feel like we brothers. We all the
Nah,
same.
Yeah, no, it's a fact. And
Yo,
really,
you see it in our hair quality. Look at your beard.
Yo, the most important thing
That's
is
not a Spaniard
The most
beard.
important thing is that look,
Exactly. It would be straight.
even
for sure.
exactly. Even the shit you're saying, like at the end of the day, if we weren't like acknowledging that we're African, then it would be like.
I was just waiting for Chris to say, I got a black friend.
I tell people that at work, like, yo,
yeah.
like, I'm African. I'm like, dog, I'm fucking
But-
African.
but you
bro.
are, though.
You see, if you see my grandmother specifically, Mima, rest in peace.
Cradle of fucking
There's no question.
civilization.
There's no question where she came from. You know exactly.
Yeah.
But Juneteenth, I think it was about the day that they weren't enslaved anymore, right? I think that's the day that became free.
June 19th, 18.
But people will argue that obviously there was a Jim Crow era and all of that kind of shit, so people still weren't free,
That's
and they're still
13th
probably not free in a lot of ways. You know,
Yeah.
systematic racism and all of that kind of
Again,
shit.
they were talking about the system.
Yeah, but are you? Do you feel like Juneteenth would ever become like a bigger holiday moving
Like
forward?
4th
I
of
guess?
July, Thanksgiving
I
type
definitely
shit.
believe, especially that they made it so that people are off that day.
Yeah,
Right. So obviously, the awkwardness of it, I believe, will be Caucasians trying to celebrate that day. Like you put them in a
and they
weird
will,
position,
and they will.
and they will, and I'll
They
laugh
will.
at them. But the truth is, they caused the pain behind it.
No, I'm not disagreeing with
Right,
you.
so
I
it
agree, yeah.
becomes weird. It's like you saw the Vince McMahon with the do-rag shit post that I put.
That was
Where it's like your boss trying to fit in on Juneteenth, right?
do-rag?
Yeah, it was Vince
That's Cheddie's
McMahon
boy.
with the do-rag. Because it's like,
And he dropped the N-bomb, too.
Yeah, he did.
yeah, what
to
do you...
Booker T.
He said the John Cena in front of Booker
yeah,
T.
exactly.
Wait, was it with the ER or the A?
A. I think it was
A.
A. Yeah.
All right.
I
He's
don't
a
know if it's
rapper.
all right.
He's a rapper.
Nah,
He's a rapper.
man.
Who cares?
'Cause especially when they do it, they be like, nigga.
Yeah, they do it.
Yeah.
Like, they want to make sure you know the
Do you remember the
Yeah, you
teacher?
have
Do you remember
to.
the teacher? Do you remember the teacher?
Yeah.
Can a nigga get a pencil? I said nigga. Nigga.
It wasn't racist. I said, nigga.
Can a nigga get a pencil? That's what he said.
That shit's crazy.
No,
Booker
but I
T,
think it should definitely be a day to educate though. Like
No, no
I
question.
know right now. Look, Memorial Day is considered we get 3-day weekend, but definitely should tip your hat to the veterans, right?
Facts.
But I think this day needs to start becoming where you do educate kids that don't know what was happening back then. You know what
But
I
that's
mean?
the thing. What meaningful holiday do we
And
actually
support
educate people?
black business.
Martin Luther King Day, a little bit. People, that's a recent thing.
Yeah.
That people are like, yo, listen, you should actually
Martin
look
Luther
into
King
Martin
was
Luther King Day.
1983.
Yeah, I'm saying that people
So
actually,
and that's pretty recent.
yeah,
That's
and
considered
people
recent.
actually recent years they say like, yo, you should learn more about Martin Luther King
Yeah.
and stuff like that during his holiday.
As a
whatever,
kid,
right?
I didn't know. All I knew he was a freedom fighter and a
and
civil
I had a
war.
dream.
And he had a
Yeah,
dream.
yeah.
Pretty
That's
much,
really
right?
what they show us.
Exactly, yeah.
So Cheddie has a point. I
what-
think we should be educated more on what the basis of Juneteenth was. I just trying to what else could they do on that day?
So it's like considered Emancipation Day in Texas. I think Texas was one of the last states that still had slavery.
Yeah.
So slavery was abolished before that. But
Okay,
Texas,
that's
it
what
was
I
like
was confused
it
with
was
that.
like
Okay, okay.
no, you were right. But it was like all right, this is the last straw. Like Abe Lincoln said, nah, no more.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I mean? So these are in layman's terms.
They might have been
So-
one of the first states to acknowledge Juneteenth, actually, though, too.
Right,
Texas,
right.
yeah.
So
Rightfully so.
what I think is I think it should be a teaching moment. I can tell you how I spent my Juneteenth, which is fucking funny. It's like so I'm on
You ate chitlins?
at my job. No, check this out. At my job, I'm on a team.
Oh, dear.
I'm on a team with 3 other white people, and they put their out of offices on, and they were like, "Yo, I'm out of office today." And I got the email, and I'm like, "All right, I didn't put my out of office on," but I answered it, and I ended up working for like 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
I was saying,
And
you think that's right that they celebrate?
My cousin Kevin was laughing at me like, "Yo, dog, this is hilarious."
Yeah,
that,
it
like,
is.
you know,
It's
no,
ironic.
I think everybody should because I think but it's like for us with Memorial Day, like we all weren't soldiers, right?
Right.
But
Right.
we're supposed to
And
be like
Veterans Day and
it's
all that shit,
Veterans Day. Sorry, yeah, it's our day to be like, yo, hey, you know what? Thank you for everything you've done or whatever. And then, maybe Juneteenth could turn into something like that. Well, thank you for everything that Black culture has contributed to our everyday.
So you
Our-
think
the way we dress,
with the introduction
what we
of-
watch, you know what I mean?
Everything.
With
Culture.
the introduction
Yeah.
of Juneteenth, do you think they should get rid of July 4th?
Nah,
Because I've seen a lot of beef over July 4th.
I don't
no,
think
there's beef over Thanksgiving,
Right.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm not trying to miss football.
Yeah. No, but
100%.
in general,
not
though,
even that. There's only like a 0.6% Native American population, so it don't matter too
Nah,
much.
not because of that.
Yo,
man.
son.
They got rid of the Redskins.
That is debatable. I guess Thanksgiving is more debatable to me than July 4th. Like, at the end of the day, our history is our history.
I
know
call
it's-
your holiday hell day.
Yeah. Nah.
Man, nah,
They got mad happy.
Man, nah.
Yeah, you just,
Keep
yeah,
going.
you just.
Yeah.
going,
yeah,
keep going,
Yeah, y'all want to hear something?
We
funny?
rhyming?
Want to hear something funny? We'll get back. We'll get back to Juneteenth. But I was on Chris's. I watched in on one of Chris's episodes, and one of his. I won't say which. Y'all got to check out the episode for yourself. But remember when I asked your guest, I was like, "So what is it you like about Trump?" Right? Because he had said that, right? And I'm like, "Why did I say that?" Like, this is Chris's guest. I know Chris is
Yeah.
probably like, "Get Cheddie the fuck." I saw Chris's face, like, "Oh boy, it's about to go."
You just
down
had to
right now."
know,
'Cause
though.
you know,
You had to know,
No,
though.
because Chris knows me,
Yeah.
but I'm also like, no, I'm not supposed to be like. Like,
You got-
imagine us telling.
You got in your e-bag?
Yes, 100%. I got militant E.
Yes.
I remember just being like,
Shout out
what?
to
I
OPM
was-
underscore 21.
I said to myself, I was like, why did I just do this right now? Because he's your guest. Like, he's the artist that you guys are interviewing.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we
he's-
took like a little intermission. And I remember asking him, so, and I saw your
I
face.
heard you
I
loud
saw
and
your
clear.
face. I saw your face like, uh-oh.
But it wasn't because you asked him that. It's just because I kind of wanted to keep. I want to keep the show like hip hop.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And I don't want to get into politics because politics you could talk for hours.
Well,
over.
Handsome took us
No,
away.
we agree. We agree.
Handsome
with
was
that.
the one that took us away
Yeah.
from that because, like, originally when I was writing the show, I'm just like, so why?
Again, it's in the heat of the
I was
Trump
gonna say
shit going
yeah,
on.
exactly.
yeah,
that
yeah.
was
Okay.
current.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's a
mean?
current. it's a current
But
thing,
it
yeah.
definitely. So, like, when we're talking about here for Juneteenth, it's kind of like we got to pay our respects. Like when Josh, you brought up this was your topic, and you brought it up. It's kind of like you do have to talk about this because it is something that's current. And it's
only that. It's because of Trump that a lot of this shit woke people up,
Facts.
right? Because he made a lot of these racists feel like it's okay to be patriotic and white and everything else. Like, so a lot of the shit that we're seeing now is the after effect.
People
of
are
Trump
complaining
doing what he
about
did.
Juneteenth. People are really mad about
Of
Juneteenth.
course.
They're like, yo,
yeah.
And you're mentioning the Proud Boys? Is that
Well,
Yes.
well,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
exactly.
Trevor
Exactly.
Noah said. He said there's like 15 states that don't want a day off.
yeah,
That's how racist they are.
crazy.
Yo.
When it's like there are progressive white people.
And
that
Trevor
are
Noah's
the
from
ones that
South
are
Africa.
standing
That
up
shit
for
is
it.
racist as a motherfucker.
Facts.
Yeah, where he's from.
No, but-
yeah,
and the
so
fun-
he's been through real racism.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The ironic thing
Like, he got whipped.
the ironic thing about it is that they like
I made that up.
if you have
I wouldn't, but his parents are he's biracial.
Yeah, he is.
And like I don't know if you heard his story, but like like they had to like hide. Like imagine you and Brenda having to hide your relationship.
yeah.
And to hide Jonah and like only
He said that because Brenda's Matt Brown.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He did say that because of that.
Yo, why you gotta start shit for it, dog?
Because Josh and Jonah, like, they just picked Brenda up somewhere, like
Yeah.
invited her to the family.
That was a
Yeah,
thought that he
you-
just thought today. Actually,
you and Rosa are about the
Funny as
same.
shit.
said it
Yeah.
earlier.
You and Rosa are about the same shade. Yeah.
It's all good. It's only
I'm-
facts.
but-
I'm
you know
the
what I'm
dark
saying?
lamb
Facts.
in my family.
Yeah.
It's only facts, man.
He's she would be Trevor Noah's mom.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's only facts. It's only facts.
But yeah, so going back into, I know we got off topic with of Juneteenth.
No, yeah, but
but here's what he was saying. He was like, there's 15 states that are against it. Like it's a day off as well too, even if they want to look at it that way.
And their argument is similar to, I remember hearing how people used to like debate Martin Luther King, and they used to say like that he actually caused more division between races.
That was Malcolm. That wasn't Martin though.
No,
You know what I'm
I know,
saying?
but people said that
Yeah.
about Martin Luther King. They were saying like
Because he made people aware they were being treated racist.
exactly why, because they were like, yo, basically he's bringing up in their opinion he wasn't bringing up real shit to like white people. Like it was like, yo, everything's okay, the world's working okay before you came out and said like
You guys
things
got
are unfair
jobs?
and shit like that. Exactly.
They actually kind of have a point because I'll do that with my girl. I'll just be like, yo, if you don't bring up all these problems, we wouldn't have it.
Damn. That's a fact. If you ain't looking at my phone, shit will be fine.
That's just funny because I actually just saw on Twitter
know what I'm saying?
a couple days ago, people were like, yo, that's a toxic ass relationship where the girl was like, yo, you know when everything changed for me? When my man told me, yo, what are we arguing for? Are you arguing to win or are you arguing to like get better communication or something like, or like to get like.
Ask me no questions, I tell you no lies.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a problem, you're gonna find it.
I'm so
Yo,
right.
That's
Every
it right there.
time,
Yo,
every
that's
Que
it
time.
busca
right there.
encuentra.
That's it right.
Yo.
That's it right there.
I'm so glad I'm not on camera.
No, but you know what? I'm being real with you. That is true though. I'm being real with you.
Yo, I don't.
And
I don't wanna-
anybody,
and I
guys
don't
or
want to throw
girls,
this
if you
off,
do that, yeah.
guys. I don't want to throw it off, but
When you go
let's
say-
get it.
somebody
to
was
me.
parked in my driveway. I'm just walking home. Somebody's parked in my driveway,
Whistle while you work, guys.
and I'm like,
you really are a dad.
And I'm like, yo, who parked in my driveway? And it's not fine, no matter any way you see it. So
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, but who's parked in my driveway? And I see the guy, and I'm like, yo, that's your car? And he's like, yeah. Why? Is there a problem? And I'm like,
White guy.
yo, there wasn't a problem until you said that.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, my girl was there.
Hold
and
on,
my
does he
sister.
live? Does he live in your?
He lives like 3 houses next.
Dogs. That's not
That's not right.
good.
And
It's
he
not
was
Florida.
just there. I just happened to
Word.
stop by. You know, I just got to my house. I was gonna pull up. Somebody was there, and I'm like, he's like, yeah, I'm parked here. Is there a problem? And I'm like, yo, how do I tell him without destroying him?
Hold up, time out. Like
fact.
blocking
If
your
you're
driveway or
answering
in
me
your
that way,
driveway?
there is a
Parked
problem.
up
by the window
Yeah, parked in
where
there.
Cubby looks out.
Yeah, parked right in there.
That's crazy.
Yo,
And
dog.
then,
people are
yo,
wild,
and,
son. That's
and
crazy.
everybody saw my eyes,
common
and I'm
sense.
like, yo, Chris, calm down. And I'm like, he just asked me if there's a problem. Oh, my God. I think there's a problem now.
A fact.
You
If
know?
you're saying it that way, you just started the problem.
Dave Chappelle, when keeping it
was
real
just-
goes wrong.
I was expecting him to be like, oh, I'm parked in your driveway. I'll move out right away.
Yeah, fact.
But he said that, and I'm like, hell fucking yeah, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my driveway, bro. He's like, oh, you don't got to talk to me that way.
You
I'm
don't
like,
gotta drive
dude.
my fucking.
But and everybody was like, yo, Chris, you might have overreacted. But I was just so,
Nah, I
I
don't
was
think you
so
did.
shocked.
I don't think you did.
You gotta understand.
And trust me,
you're
I-
you're
I-
reacting.
Is he on
Again,
drugs?
You react.
just like a normal white
Nah,
guy.
you know what he
Not
did?
Chris. No,
He
that
it's
guy.
called gaslighting. Is what he did. In a way, he got. You know, he's That's that
Explain
passive aggressive.
gaslighting.
That's that passive aggressive shit. Well, gaslighting is a way where people like. One example of it is in toxic relationships that people would like tell you like, "Yo, you're going crazy. Why would you get mad about that kind of shit? Like you're going crazy about. You know what I mean? And it's like it makes you feel like, yo,
I'm a
but
gaslighter.
I don't have reason to get mad right now, but really you do have a reason to get mad. There's just so many details behind it that it's hard to explain.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So that he gaslit you in a way.
It's like a new term, right?
Yeah,
there.
it is a new term. It's the past few years. It's an important term too because people do that often now.
Is that in the dictionary?
It might be in the
Listen,
Webster
man.
new one. That's
Sorry to do this to
2021,
you, but ratio.
2022. Ratio.
Yo, gaslight something, man.
What you guys know about ratio?
I'm using new terms from YouTube.
No, that's not YouTube, man. That's Twitter, bro.
Twitter.
SoundCloud.
Yeah, we're not the new generation.
I don't
You
know
can tell.
that. My niece
I'm
and
a
my
little bit
nephew
there.
were
I'm a
laughing
little
at
bit
me
there.
today. They're like, "Why would you use that out loud?" I'm like, "What ratio?" And they're like, "Yeah, you gotta text that." I'm like, "Oh, my bad, man."
You gotta text that. You can't say it. You gotta
my
text
God.
it.
It loses meaning when you say it out loud.
Ratio.
Yo, let's get back. Let's get back with the Father's Day thing,
Alright,
though.
fair.
Like, because I know Cheddie wanted to ask, like, did our fathers influence our taste in music?
I mean, I
say
can.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can jump in and just say
Why?
it's crazy because I remember one time I like backtracked on why I me and you do music and shit like that. I produce music at least, and I remember like
I spit motherfucking bars in
You
your
spit
face,
still,
and
yeah,
I
exactly.
sing better than every
I
fucking
haven't
singer
spit in
you
a while,
know.
but-
Who want it?
But with that, I was like, yo, when did my love for like hip hop start? And it was crazy because it was my older brother. I remember in the car spitting Juice, right, Rakim Juice, and he knew all the lyrics.
Spit
And
some bar. I
my
know what you're
dad
talking
was
about.
like, "Come on, man, sip the juice. I got enough to go around." Oh. Everybody knows the beginning.
Why are
of
you
that
nervous?
song.
Just tell me.
I'm just not gonna spit a song, dog, in the middle of the
When he's
podcast,
gonna get
man.
the hook?
Come on, bro. Is there a hook?
Because
Yeah.
you know, 'cause he's not gonna do it because he knows I'm watching.
Exactly. That's a fact. Nah, so I mean, my dad used to rap before. I think he performed at Queen's Day.
What was his rap name?
MC Joe, maybe.
Yo, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
You performing at Queen's Day?
That's cool.
dope.
Yeah. Oh no,
yeah.
Brooklyn Queen's Day. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Brooklyn
dope.
Queen's Day.
Yo,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened to Brooklyn Queens Day?
718 Day now.
No.
Cool
plug, but no.
We should get the day off from school for that, right?
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah, I
that shit.
remember
Brooklyn
that.
Queens Day. I remember like probably going to school and thinking Brooklyn Queens. I don't remember getting a day off.
Nah,
but
man.
maybe.
But that's interesting though that your dad used
Yeah,
to
he
MC?
performed it. Yeah. He actually was cool with and I met him years ago when he had the club and shit. But Eric B, he's known him since he was a kid and shit like that.
Who's that?
Like
Nice.
Eric B and Rakim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my grandparents knew him and everything. He used to go to my
Yo,
grandparents'
handsome,
crib
get
and
the
shit.
fuck out of here.
Yo, handsome.
Holy shit.
Yo.
Why
But-
and Josh went with it, like explained to him. Well, he was a part of this.
Nah.
I did it for the audience.
They, if I'm not mistaken, because you know
we
the
have some
stories,
22-year-old viewers.
they also knew G-Rap like as friends.
Yes.
Like, they're
That's-
cool.
that's
G-Rap snitched on Eric B. and Rakim.
They know stories like that.
Hence
Behind-
why
yeah.
he had to move to Arizona.
Yes.
Joe told
I don't know
me.
why you even say that, man, but yes.
It's all right. G-Rap, what you going to do?
Yeah, that's all facts.
Come get me,
supposedly.
snitch.
But like, yeah. So my dad he grew up in hip hop and shit like that. Like they grew up in my dad was born in the '60s, so he probably grew up like in late '70s, '80s. So they grew up right in the middle of hip hop era. So like, I used to listen to like we talk about it all the time. I listened to Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt, like
Wow.
right when it came out and shit like that. My dad influenced me.
when I
heavy with-
wrote the show, that I was actually wanted you to tell the story about
Yeah,
how your
yeah.
dad was bumping Reasonable Doubt. That was pretty
It's crazy because my dad he used to work like in auto body shops and shit like that, glass shops or whatever at the time. And the story
On
was
Hillside.
yeah, the story was somebody pulled up and was listening to Jay and he was like, yo, who is that? My dad used to like no, he used to like these other two rappers. I mentioned them before. No, I mentioned them before to you guys as well, but I'm not gonna sit and think about it. But when the guy pulled up and started listening to Jay, he's like, yo, who is that? Whatever. And he really got like caught by I guess what Jay's flow and all of that shit. And I remember like being like 8 years old and listening to Reasonable Doubt back and forth, regular
that's
basis.
awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm talking about before
Yo,
it blew
his
up.
father had
Before it
mad
blew up.
Reasonable Doubt tapes. Not like we bought it once. I'm talking about real albums.
Yeah, yeah.
He had a couple. I remember Nelson stole some when
Yeah.
we went to your house in Flushing.
Yeah.
Like, he had tapes, like a couple of the albums, just to make sure he had it in his car.
Facts.
He had it in his crib.
Facts.
He had it at work.
Yo, and even further, a lot of people don't know, like, I love Anita Baker, right? And that's because my dad used to listen to that shit, like, when we were driving, like, long trips and
Yeah.
shit like that, you know what I mean? And we used to listen to either Anita Baker or, like, some hip-hop shit, you know what I mean? Like, my mom used to want to listen to fucking Bon Jovi. You know what I'm saying? My dad was like,
It's
nah.
my life.
Yeah.
Yo, remember when Eminem did that song? She was like, oh my God, why he took this beat?
Yeah.
This beat was
the
great.
Sing for the Moment.
Yeah.
Sing for the Moment. Aerosmith. My mom loved that shit, which
Sure,
which influenced me as well.
Probably like Queen. And
Yeah,
Guns
it
N'
influenced me as
Roses.
well. I'm not gonna lie to you because it was like, yo, it's different.
It's a good mix.
In the beginning, I used to think it was corny, but
I had no mix, nigga. All I had was merengue.
yeah,
Merengue, right?
But your pops was a singer. Oh, is a singer.
Yeah.
Johnny. Yeah.
He did. Oh man. Anyway, yeah, my father did a bad rendition of this song that I really love.
that's the first thing that popped in his head. Right now.
Because it was recent, man. Him and his wife and their band, the New York Band, they got together and did like a online concert.
Yeah.
And sold tickets and shit for it. First of all, connection was horrible. Second of all, my dad's voice was off. Like he had like a sickness or some shit. I had to hit him up. I told him straight up, I was like, I don't know why you sang. Like I would have never done it. You tarnished our name. Because we're great singers, right? And my father especially, I told Josh at the time, my father has like excellent voice control and shit. That's one thing. He's not an amazing singer. Like the 3 kids that he had, the 3 of us, we kill it. We all have voices. But my father's breath control and shit like that is just amazing, right? So he was always a merenguero anyway. Anyway, the show was really bad. But back to that, I believe, because Josh even got pictures. You see me and Dalisa?
Yeah.
Like I got pictures with Dalisa, his sister, his older sister. We would like sing. Because at that time, I lived in Joshua's grandmother's house on the 2nd floor. When I came from DR, I lived in their house. So his older sister, Isha, was a year older than me. We would like up and down together. Like everything was just singing together, doing like she'd be my backup. I'd have my father's mic. And from early on, that's when my parents split. Like at that time was when they split. And I always remember being fascinated with Alex Bueno, who's a Dominican merenguero. That was like my father's fucking idol. Like, my father loved
fucking beast,
Fernando. Yeah.
That's
You
a
already
beast,
know.
son. Yeah.
But that's the thing. Alex Bueno's a little easier to, I guess, imitate. And my father would always sing his shit. So that shit stuck in my head. So I started singing around age 5. But it's because of Yancey, actually, my older brother, that I got into hip-hop. Because Yancey had the Slick Rick tape, which is the first one. I forgot the name of it now.
The show?
And no, it was called The Great Adventures of Slick Rick. Yeah. Yo, Yancey used to abuse that fucking
Hey
tape.
Young World.
So imagine,
you
that
fuck with
was
that
the
song?
second album.
Oh, okay.
That was behind
That
me.
was shit, though,
Hey,
too.
Young World's on that.
On there?
I think it was the last song. One of the last
The
songs.
world
Right?
is yours.
Hey, Young World. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I apologize.
That album is a classic album.
Yeah.
It has maybe one song that you could skip. But every song you can play. Maybe what was it? Indian Girl song or something like that? That's the only song that I'm just like, nah.
That was the one he's talking to the girl. Yeah, with the long hair.
Yeah. Everything else is fire.
But that's what I'm saying. So that influenced my rap shit. But music-wise, my dad definitely had an effect on it. And you could look at it like, because your dad wasn't there, I try to replicate that.
Well, after we get to Chris, I want to get back to you about how your pops, obviously, he knows that you become how does he feel about rap music? But go ahead, like with Chris, how what do you feel like with your pops?
With me, it's kind of different stories from you guys.
Your dad played the guida.
Nah. But he was a poet and he was a singer too.
Get the fuck
That's
out of here. He
fucking
was?
ill.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
That's
Writers run the world.
Facts.
So this is the thing: when you're young, you don't really know much about anything. And every family party, my dad would recite a poem. People would be like, yo, Eladio. They used to call him El Oso, the bear.
Yeah.
He was hairy and shit. El Oso, yo, recite a poem. and at that moment, I'd be like, oh, here he goes again.
Yeah.
But to everybody, it was amazing because not everybody could get in front of a crowd and spit something from the heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that I'm older, I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah.
But going back to where we started, my dad, everybody around me was doing merengue, the bachata, the Spanish music.
Yeah.
And my hip hop wasn't frowned upon, but nobody cared about it.
Yeah.
So I was kind of more influenced to get into Spanish music to fit in with my family because everybody was real heavy Spanish music.
So you didn't start liking hip hop until you met me.
I haven't. Nah, literally.
No, he used to do Spanish hip hop.
Yeah.
Playero.
Well, I mean, I knew of it, but I got really into Anthony Santo and Luis Vargas and
I mean, that's
God,
fucking
son, Luis
top
Vargas is
notch.
my favorite bachatero of all time.
Top notch, man.
remember when they used to battle together?
Yes.
Oh man, that was
That's
amazing.
top notch, bro.
One thing-
And that was real fucking bachata.
One
Yeah,
thing
word.
it's
Exactly.
pretty dope. You go to
Top
like
beat.
Chris's family events. Is that like you will see somebody like you have a cousin that can play the guitar. You have Chris that like
Oh, you guys are
at my
musicians.
at my
Yeah,
family
they go-
parties.
That's
It's like
dope.
there's a DJ, there's food, and everybody just talk shit about each other. Where
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
I would literally go this before me, but like I would go to like Chris, and then he would just be like, they would just cut the music off, and then like you had like a cousin that played the guitar. What his name?
My man, my cousin Elvis.
Elvis. Yeah, his name is
Yeah,
Elvis
yeah.
too.
Yeah,
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was just like, this is dope. You know what I mean? Like we'll just stop the party and be like,
Yeah.
we're gonna let Elvis play the
Yeah.
guitar, and he's nasty. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty dope.
He's good. He
Yeah.
used to practice for like 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
But my whole my journey was like go to Spanish music because I want to make my family proud.
Facts.
No,
Because they didn't really understand hip hop. I remember singing hip hop in my house, and my dad was like, why you saying perros? Why you calling your friends perros? Why you calling your friends dogs? You don't do that."
Yeah.
But that's something that I got from like hip hop.
Yeah.
You know.
Where my dogs at?
DMX.
So then I had to
R.I.P.
really get into my own skin and go my own way and get the hip hop in me.
Facts.
And it was an awesome journey. It was awesome for me to figure it out that way. And one of my buddies, which was you know him, it was Andrew. He gave me the DMX CD. He gave
Shout
me
out to Andrew. He spits.
the Fat Joe CD. And I was like, yo, what is this?
Drew Holla?
Yeah.
Drew Holla.
Yeah.
That's my
Nice,
nigga.
nice.
And I'm like, what is this? Yeah, we grew up together. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, yo, fuck the Spanish music. This shit is ill.
Facts.
And I could recite it, and I started writing.
Relatable.
And shit, and relatable.
Yeah, facts.
But either way, at the end of the day, I stayed in the middle, 50-50, because that's my heritage. And this is hip-hop is something
That's
that I'm
facts,
just
yeah.
coming into.
Even so, it influenced your taste in music regardless.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot like Joshy probably doesn't know this about us, but my grandmother, his great-grandmother, was a poet. My mom would
I did know that a
recite
little bit, yeah.
poets, especially to my
I
grandfather.
found that out way later
Yeah,
because our uncle is a poet as well.
Yeah, and then her son became a poet. It's in our blood in a sense, right? They were poets though. So when we start doing music, it's a lot different. And obviously, it's influenced from our fathers who are not part of that lineage, right? Because we're talking about our mother's side. Like his dad is from the other side, my dad's from another side.
Okay.
But on our mother's end, it's always poetry has been a thing. Where on our father's side, it's always been a music thing. And it's interesting you say that because even going with this, like my father was just amped that I like music.
Yeah.
He didn't give a fuck if I
So
was
that was
rapping.
going to be my question.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about, like, my son's a rapper, I'm a
He
singer?
The fact that I could make anything to him
Fire.
that had to do with music was
Yeah.
like, woo, we got another one. You know?
Yeah.
When I did a rendition, the first time my father actually heard me sing, because he heard me rap before, but he heard me sing was I did When the Night Has Come, whatever.
Yeah.
Stand by me.
Stand By Me, right? And that was like a Facebook video in 2008. And he didn't even know. It was my aunt, who was my godmother, who told my godparents before, who lives in Florida. I haven't
put
seen her
him
in
on?
20 years. Yeah, she was
shout out
just
to godparents, man. Joshy is coming. Brenda, you heard this.
That shit hurt me, man.
But she was like,
That topic hurts me.
she was like, oh, I didn't know little Johnny could sing. And my father was like, he doesn't sing, he raps. And then so my father saw the video, that motherfucker went through the roof. He's like, yo, you sing better than me.
That's fire.
What, yo, why
That's
didn't you ever tell me you
insane.
sing? I'm like, you weren't there. Right? And in a sense,
Oh, why you took a dark turn?
Father's Day episode.
I dead ass. I dead ass was like, yo, your dad accepted rap. I was about to give my story. My dad accepting rap.
Oh,
But that was
yeah.
great.
Took a
Nah,
dark
but
turn.
Dark
that
turn.
opened up a good convo.
Okay.
Because he did admit at that point, like, yo,
Oh,
you're
shit.
fucking right. Like,
If I gave more time or something.
yeah, like, yo,
shit.
that sucks because I did not know you had this voice. But yo, let's just do this and that. And it wasn't until years later where I started doing singing songs. I always rap. But I finally found my voice in singing and learning how to write singing music. That's
Yeah,
just difficult.
facts.
He
It's
could have pushed.
different.
He could have
Yeah,
pushed you
it
like
is.
Joe Jackson.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's excited. Yo,
Yeah.
I'm doing this. By the way, I have an album coming. It's a cover album called Songs Pa Tu Mai, which is like songs for your mother. And it's like songs that I heard growing up and shit while I did Spanish rendition. That's why Ray, Joanne's, his aunt's boyfriend, is on my back because he heard like one of the songs. The one specifically my father showed to like all his siblings. Like, oh my God, listen to Johnny's voice. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And then my uncle, Tio Maximo, is the Mets
yes.
broadcaster for Radio Wada for Spanish stuff.
Yeah.
That's fire.
That's fucking bananas.
So when he heard
dope.
that song, he was like, yo, let my nephew know. The moment this shit is done, put this project in our hands because this is the music we listen to.
Yeah.
Is his
And-
name Coco Cabrera?
Nah, I wish that were my uncle. So he's like, coconuts.
That's all I heard.
Melky Cabrera.
Well, that's dope though. That's an ill concept
Heard Miguel
for
Cabrera.
a
Both of
project.
those.
Yeah, it's cover songs. It's fun.
That's
'Cause
that's
I sing better in Spanish than I do in English, believe it
Yeah,
or not. But yeah, sorry.
Because it's a different tone. It's a different like energy.
Well, it's my
Like,
first language.
Yeah.
Right? Even though I speak English better than most people, Spanish was my first language, man. I didn't learn Spanish English till I was 5.
Really?
Yeah. Did you speak Guyanese when you were growing up?
Yeah, man.
Roti.
Roti.
just know the bad words.
Yeah.
That's it.
That is
Yeah.
it.
Skunt.
Cunt.
Right?
Oh, man.
But sticking with the Father's Day theme,
Yeah.
like, how would you feel if Penny? How would you feel about Penny knowing like what music she likes or, I guess her influences?
Well, how you feel
and
about
stuff like
Jonah? Like if he
I'll
comes
start
out of
this.
nowhere, he's just a classic violinist and he don't care about anything else.
I really like a lot of genres of music. And I know a lot of people say that, and they really probably don't. They probably like one song in a genre.
No,
or
he
something like
listens.
that. I listen to a lot of genres.
I lie
of music.
about it. I'm like, I love jazz. I hear like 2 songs.
I haven't really got into jazz. There's a few jazz songs that I like, but
But
really,
you like alternative.
yeah, I like
Yeah.
rock. I like classical. I
Sorry to interrupt you. Jazz is boring. Go ahead.
I don't think jazz is boring.
No, I'm saying for me.
Puts
Okay.
you to sleep.
It was super sleep. Like E and I had this conversation. He's like, "Oh, but how can you like hip hop and not like jazz?" Easy.
Yeah, people say
Jazz
that.
is
And
boring.
I don't think it's the same either. But
The blues is good.
blues
Blues
is
is
all right.
different than jazz.
It's depressing.
Yeah.
That's my shit.
That's
my
your
lane,
shit.
baby.
Yeah.
It speaks from the heart, man. It speaks.
I
to your
definitely
soul.
picture Johnny in like a bar in Louisiana just listening
Facts.
to the fucking blues. Nigga.
Super fact. And loving it, right?
Bourbon in my
And love
cup.
it, and love it.
Yo, this is the illest. Yo, who's this singing?
How much for the hook over there?
Nah, I don't know about that part, though. I wasn't saying that. I wasn't going down that route.
Josh, and going on jazz and blues.
Yeah.
I got into it not so much, but for the production side to samples.
Facts, yeah.
And there's so much gold right there to grab. I remember getting some Louis Armstrong samples. So that's the reason why I got into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Shout out
Nah.
to Corona.
Yo, Louis, you
Facts,
lived
Louis
on the
Armstrong,
block.
Corona,
You
yeah.
lived on Louis Armstrong's block.
Yeah, that was my block
that's
right there.
fire.
You live on 107?
107,
What
brother.
the fuck?
Between 34 and 37.
I used to
fire.
crack on that corner.
Oh, shit, I might have seen you.
I made that up. It just sounds good.
I might have seen you.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, Josh, I feel you on that, bro. On the production side.
Yeah, for real.
Y'all going to Louis Armstrong house?
Nah, for
You
real.
need this.
Fucking Satchmo,
Nah,
man.
that's
He's
I
nasty.
got that Satchmo.
Yeah, he's nasty. He used to
I'll
smoke-
turn you
yo,
into Ray Charles, bitch.
Yeah.
Yo, he used to smoke
Wow.
weed every day. Like
Yeah.
that's
Smoke weed every day.
No, he
Yo,
did.
for sure. That's what he used to do.
Now, mad jazz musicians actually did a lot of drugs. Unfortunately, they did,
Heroin
like, heroin and
especially.
shit. Yeah, they
Big
did
time.
a lot
I
of
mean, that
dope.
was probably the way they got creative and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wasn't frowned upon at that time.
You saw Ray.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you saw a lot of
exactly.
drugs and stuff.
Sadly.
Classics after classics. Thank you, heroin.
But if Jonah did get into a different genre, I think that I would probably get into the same genre as him because I'm just really like
Right. Oh, that's cool.
As far as music goes, I'm very like interested in different things. Like I remember when I got into rock, it was like, why do people like even like heavy rock, like heavy metal type shit? I'm like, yo, why do people like this? It got to be something. It got to be something.
You feel like
So
it's just yelling and screaming or whatever.
yeah, but you got to look into it.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there's a reason people love it. You know, so I'm like I'm like a student of music. So and even further, I always say and mention Handsome. Like it's really weird. Like he judged that kind of shit right now. Like he sounds like he's judgmental towards it. But when I was younger, he's the first one to show me like Elvis songs. He would show me the whatever brothers. What is it called? They did the song in the,
The Everly Brothers. Everly Brothers.
Yeah, they did the song in the army. The I'm lonely, Mr. Lonely. They did that while in the
yeah.
army and shit.
Yeah.
He would give me like the history behind songs. Like he knew music like on some real
Village
shit.
You have a eclectic
Yeah, it's
ear.
village people.
Yo, let's talk about disco and how it's fucking
Disco. I love
the reason
disco.
There's pop.
I love disco.
You know what I mean? I've always had eclectic taste, especially in different. I've always listened to
I'm
everything.
sorry. The Village People would have been a good segue into Ryan Nassif, but we'll
Yeah.
I don't
Yo,
know this nigga's name.
I'm not talking about that gay shit.
That- Yo,
Oh my god.
Nah,
Yo,
it ain't my
son.
thing, man. You cannot be on my fucking football field rubbing dicks.
All right, good.
We're gonna get back to that right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's stay on fathers and music.
I disagree though. But go ahead.
Came out of nowhere.
Nah, man, that shit just fuck my week.
Rubbed
up,
you the
dude.
wrong way.
It rubbed you
Yeah.
the wrong way.
I didn't say that.
That's what you started to say.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said that shit's rough. I didn't say rub. That shit's rough. I'm a man, nigga. Nobody rubs me.
Take the
nigga.
time. Take the time code down.
Dub.
Luckily, I edit the show.
You never say a fucking shaky comment ever.
Ever.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm saying you never will because you edit it anyway.
Nah, I don't edit anything,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, okay.
Now, when you edit, you try to make everybody shine. I feel you on that.
Yo, Josh,
gotta
you can't
make
talk,
everybody
man.
You have edited me. Yeah, you pause.
Give everybody the
Saying
good
shit like
lights.
that just sounds really weird.
Nah, you got to. I got to make sure the show is cohesive. I don't care who said what. It's not going down where we look like suckers.
Yeah.
Sorry.
For sure.
Not gonna. The guests, yeah, you guys can all look bad.
Damn it.
I know you got a boy and a girl, so it's a little different.
It's
And
not,
you guys,
man.
bo- and you
Music
guys
is
both.
music.
And you guys. No, what I'm saying though is that like you can see your both you guys have daughters. You can see your daughter saying, "Oh, I like pop," and you guys maybe not into like the pop that they like or whatever. Like they may even get to K-pop or whatever the case may be. 'Cause that's like a big thing.
That's
right?
true.
Shout out to Dave. I love that show.
true.
I don't think I saw it yet, but
The new season?
yeah, just
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm
really,
dying.
really
I'm
good.
looking
man.
forward to that.
But yeah, so
She's been bumping Taylor Swift.
with your son though,
Great, yeah.
Songwriting.
with your
He was a
son,
great songwriter.
as much as you love hip hop, say your son walks in one day and he's just like, yo,
He's emo.
I like country.
No, and he likes fucking Fall Out Boy and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
He likes Avril Lavigne.
I like Fall Out Boy.
Man, you already know how we are.
I like Fall Out Boy,
We'll let
man.
him rock, man.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
long as it's something musical,
Yeah.
something that he's passionate for, as
it.
hard as in it. Let him rock, man. I even help him. You know.
That's what I mean. I'll probably get
know
into the music
Frozen
myself.
soundtrack, both the first one and the second one by heart.
Yeah.
Because of Penelope. I know the Trolls soundtrack by heart. Because when your kid is interested in music,
Yeah.
you don't give a
Yeah,
fuck
it's a beautiful
what it
thing.
is.
As long
But
as
even
it is.
further than that, I think mad people who are into music, it's not even like the genres are even like they were probably back in the day, because you see videos of like let's say Lil Uzi Vert or something like that, like singing, and not only him, like Kodak Black.
Joel Santana, remember?
Yeah, singing like
Walking
all these-
away downtown.
Singing that kind of shit, you know what I mean? Like, yo, people know what it is,
People
and
know
they
what it
enjoy
is.
different genres. They just probably don't make it.
Because I mean, if you go grocery shopping, you're gonna hear those songs. You're gonna hear those songs. It's just.
But the fact that they know the lyrics to it means that they actually like the song.
I'll say
Like,
this,
yeah,
though.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and catchy songs are easy.
Yeah,
to shout
that's
You're
out.
gonna have
shout
a-
out to Drake.
Yeah.
They're just
Nah,
easy.
Shout out to OVO.
I would say
Yeah.
just because of that though,
Yeah.
we're gonna have a tough time having our kids dig into like the shit that we like, right? In terms of if you're talking about like '90s hip hop where they were rapping.
You think so, huh?
I believe. I mean, they're gonna
That's a good
hear
point.
like look
They
at
need
Penelope.
it to be more.
Penelope hears a lot
more,
of shit.
More catchy than.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah, and it's just a change in overall music. It's the same way.
Sharice had to listen to Ether, dog.
Yeah, so she has the influence there,
right,
but
right.
regardless,
Yeah.
It's not an easy listen.
it's hard
Yeah.
because of
You gotta be a
everything
student of
else
the game.
around them. Everything else around has turned into pop.
Yeah.
Even what we
a lot
call
of pop.
hip hop these days is pop.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pop.
Yeah, it's
Because that's
mainstream.
what sells and that's what makes the money.
I think every
It's a
genre
formula.
like literally
Elevated.
maybe not their goal is that, but that's where they end up being. If they last, they end up being mainstream. That's the only way you could last.
I think as parents, parents definitely, because like my dad to this day, like he'll see us, he'll listen. If he overhears us like talking about rap, he'll just jump in and be like, Tupac is better than everybody else, right?
Yeah.
But like,
He's right.
because he has a certain amount of Tupac songs that he's just like, this is a real song that what he's talking about, but he doesn't know about bars and all this other stuff that we're talking about. But he heard Dear Mama and Changes, and he's just like, this is Marvin Gaye for me, because that's who he loved back in the day was Marvin Gaye. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's somebody actually saying something.
Understandable.
You know what I mean? Like with a note, with a positive note,
Yeah.
where like he'll tell me that Jay-Z's trash, but he doesn't understand why he thinks Jay-Z's trash. He just says it
Well, Chris would agree
to
with
say
him.
it. Right. You know what I mean? that's why him and my dad get along.
Yeah, for real. I love your dad, man.
You know, what's funny is that Edgar likes my dad too.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Exactly.
Yo, and talking about old school music.
Yeah.
When we used to work at a supermarket,
Yeah, man.
we should know all of those songs.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
should be singing to "Rock the Boat, Don't
Yeah.
Rock the Boat." Rock the
You should
boat.
see-
I know all of that shit by
Christopher
heart.
Perry, I'll go like this,
Yeah,
doing it with
yeah.
John Travolta, and we used to know all that shit. Ain't
And-
no
and-
sunshine.
Yeah,
where he's
hell
going,
yeah.
And at first, guys,
No.
it was like, yo, what kind of bullshit music is this? But then after a while, you really have to admire like the songwriting. You gotta
Yeah.
admire like whoever's playing the
100%.
drums, the guitar. You know, once you get
Facts.
into that, you're like, yo, they're talented, and that's some ill music.
Nah, no
Yes,
question.
It's not,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not your type right now,
Yeah.
you know, but it's dope.
But as
music.
I've gotten older, I've learned to appreciate.
to appreciate, yeah,
even,
man.
even in
Shit.
that, like we're
Yeah.
talking about the youth, right? My niece, she's 22, and she asked me this morning on one of our walks. She was like, "Theo, what part of the song do you like the most?" And I never thought of that question.
Wow, that's a cool.
That is a cool question. That's a great
And
question.
And my mind just went the bridge, and I was like, "The bridge," and she's like, "What do you mean the bridge?" I'm like, "Well, you got the hook, you got the verses, right?" I was like, "The bridge." I was like,
That's
"You
a
know,
special thing, right?
That is.
I
No,
told her-
that's a good answer.
and
actually.
I told her,
I'll
I
be
was
real
like,
with you.
that's the thing I admire the most, because as a songwriter, we are songwriters here, Cheddie, no, but you're making a song, and when you hear a beat, it's easy to just jump into a flow of a verse, or it's easy to get a hook in your mind, right?
Yeah.
Then you have to totally separate yourself from that whole shit and find a different pocket to create a bridge.
Listen to the bridge in Thug's Mansion by Tupac, and how he always leads into in Thug's Mansion.
Okay, yeah.
Crazy,
That's sick.
crazy.
That's not a bridge.
Yeah.
Oh my bad.
Um,
Well, his lead into
Nah, I know
the
what
hook
you mean.
is
Yes.
insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
that-
Yeah.
But that
Which
could
is
be
like he's a
considered
writer.
somewhat of a bridge.
A bridge
Okay.
is like a second hook.
Yeah. That,
Oh,
that
okay,
doesn't
okay, okay.
appear.
My
but not every-
thing brought
but-
me the dope.
but not every
My
song
thing-
Yeah, exactly.
My
has a
fancy
bridge.
things.
Not every
No.
song has a bridge though.
No, that-
But
Okay.
every great song does.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so
you're
let's
right.
think
You're
about
right.
Because
Not
it's
every hip hop
because
song
it's catchy.
does.
Because it's catchy as well.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but it's you have to divert from what you already started.
I'll just stick to DJing.
Nah.
No, you're gonna
No, you just figured. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
learning
yeah,
music
Yeah,
now
you're
because
learning
of that.
it. You're learning it.
You'll understand it.
Yeah.
That's such a whoever does bridges well, like
50?
that's it.
Yeah, he does. That's why he's such a great songwriter. Really,
because you have to totally separate yourself from the song, from what you already did. Like you already made this shit.
Because a hook is hard to come up with anyway, as well. A good hook is hard to come up with. Like,
and a bridge you can't come up with for every song.
Yeah.
It's like a specific beat.
Exactly.
I deadass thought that's what led into the hook. I had no idea.
Nah, yeah. It's like a second hook.
Well, no, technically they do lead into a hook.
A lot of times they do.
The way to do a bridge, like the recent song I recorded, which Josh was telling me about, I started with a bridge, which is something people don't really do.
Did you end with that same bridge?
Huh?
Did you end the song with the same bridge?
Yeah, actually,
the same bridge.
I actually flipped. I did just everything different, but the bridge stayed there.
Yeah, he repeated it a few. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
kind of like the hook, but he don't throw it in every single time. That's the thing about the difference between a bridge and a hook.
I know it's not a hip hop show, but can you spit that shit right now so viewers can see it?
What was the bridge? Nah, I can't.
Secret?
Yeah, it was not a secret. It's just more so. It's gonna make the song. Like this is the first time where, because I make music, obviously. But this is the first time where the bridge to me is gonna make the song.
That song's ill.
So I want everybody to hear it
in
its
really, really
full
good
capacity. It's gonna be dope.
What about off camera?
Oh, off camera,
we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it.
I can't wait.
Spit it right off the camera.
Yeah.
All right, let's rock and roll. Cheddie's giving me the timestamp. What was next? T-Pain and Mitzi.
No, we're on the topic of music. So we're still on the topic of music, and we talk about how music's changing. We're talking about music's changing and everything like that. And T-Pain said that he went into a depression, which is a strong word to say for that thing. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, I heard that.
What
I heard
the
that
fuck?
a few
That
days
was
ago.
toxic. That was toxic.
Now, I think people throw around depression
Of
too
course,
easily,
right?
man.
They be mad sad and they're like,
But who knows?
I'm so depressed.
Who knows? I'm not gonna say. I'm just saying for this situation.
Yeah, depression is something else.
Yeah.
Depression is a chemical imbalance.
I agree. Yeah. But who's to say we don't know about T-Pain's background or anything like that? So I'm not gonna say for sure, but I'm gonna.
Well, let's find out his zodiac. Cheddie, look up his birthday, please.
His zodiac is everything.
Yeah, but you guys heard what he said? He was like, "Yo, Usher was my friend," and he told me I fucked up music.
Yeah.
Wow, like yo,
that shit sucks.
That makes sense.
That shit got to
Let me
suck
tell
to
you
hear
something.
that.
If I make a song, like I took Josh to the studio to make the last song I did, right? I needed him there. I thought in my head from before I even started, like, this is a summer smash. This is the first time I actually have something that I know is gonna be fucking fire for everybody else.
September 30th. What?
Oh, he's a Libra. Makes sense. Yes, he's a Libra. My older brother.
I'm
September 30th, same day as my brother.
Shout out to Yancy.
I like how you know the signs like that, man. Because I don't know what the fuck.
It's sad.
You're like me, man. Like a typical person.
But anyway, and when I spit it, we were in the car listening to the beat. We're good. We were listening to the beat. Joshy was like, "Yo,
I was on my phone.
what is that?"
Yeah, I was on my phone. I was like, "Yo, whose song is this?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yo, that's the beat I'm gonna spit on." I'm like, "Yo, son, this is your line, right?" I'm like, he's like, "Nah." I'm like, "Yo, this shit is hard, bro."
Yo, the moment we got into when I got into the studio, that's it, nigga. I was on cloud 9. Like I knew this shit was out the park because of that. So I can see where he's
a
like,
little boost.
yeah, where he's like,
That was natural.
Yo,
I'll be
he
real
was my
with you.
friend.
I'm
So
being real with you,
for
like,
my
yeah.
friend to say that, had he heard the beat, not even just that, but let's say, boom, because even when I started spitting, Josh was like, "Yo, you got one. Like you got it, right?" Had he just been like
That
"Yeah,
confidence
was what's
level.
up, man."
Yeah. Yo, nah, it was.
Yo, handsome. That
that's
confidence level just shot through
the
the
roof.
roof.
That's
bro.
everything, bro.
That's what I'm
sick.
saying.
But if Josh had just said, "Oh, it's good," right? But this nigga Usher sounds like he said, "Yo, like handsome, this shit is fucking trash. Why'd you write this?"
Yeah, nah,
That's the
be
way
a deflator.
it came off with Usher saying that you ruined music. Where T-Pain was doing auto tunes. I believe 808s and Heartbreaks had auto tunes on it, right?
Yeah.
I believe one of G Unit's comeback like songs, Rider,
but
had
T-Pain was
50 on it
strictly
with auto
auto-tune.
tune.
Yeah, no, T-Pain
How about
was.
Lil
No,
Wayne?
but what I'm saying though is that like it
Yeah,
did
Lil Wayne
it
too.
did
Because it's T-Pain.
It did influence some good music though. A lot of good
A
music.
lot of great music.
You know what I mean? So yes,
You think Usher was hating?
I think a lot of people. I think Usher was crazy because T-Pain can actually really sing. I don't know if you ever heard.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Which
he
is
does.
which is
He was in that TV show.
the mind blowing thing about it, about the whole thing.
The
Oh,
Masked
the Masked
Singer.
Singer.
Yeah, Masked
Singer.
Singer.
No, I heard him sing not Bartender, Buy You a Drink
Yeah.
a cappella.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why didn't you just do this?
Because it sounds iller.
You know what I mean?
It just sounded
And
dope.
it's
the
like,
effect.
yeah, and I get it, but like
Trying
I guess
to be different, maybe?
I think what I'm not, and I like this song to actually play at a party, but Pop Champagne,
Yeah.
I feel like that was the one where people were just like, yo, people are doing this too much.
Yeah, he did it over the whole song.
Hove,
Right, he did,
Hove, and I could be wrong, but Hove and Jim were in a weird place at the time. So Hove was like, yo, this is a good way for me to like just smash Jim, just to be like, yo,
Yeah.
y'all doing pop. Because Jim was throwing a couple of little jabs towards Hove.
Yeah.
And
Couple.
That was
yeah,
like
I
his-
thought the same shit. Couple.
that-
Everything he was talking about was Jay.
Well, it was directly at Jay,
Yeah.
right? Without saying Jay's
Summer in
name or whatever.
Miami, all of
Which
that shit.
actually, I
yeah.
don't know if you guys heard. He's taking shot. He told Conway, "Let's get this
That was
shit."
fire.
I saw,
Yeah,
but he
so-
respects Kanye. He's
Yeah, but he
Conway.
said it in a
Of course,
respectful
Yeah,
way.
he said, "Yo, that's one of my favorite
Super
rappers."
respectful. He really thinks he can out rap.
Yeah, but he said that he's one of my
Conway.
favorite rappers.
Yeah,
so
that's
that's
cool.
like that's not real.
But we
real
love
beef.
Jim Jones on this show, so no Jim Jones.
Facts,
fan.
facts.
Nah, I
No,
love
shout out
Jimmy,
to
man.
him.
Yo, I'm
Yeah,
gonna sign a
yeah.
title.
Yeah,
Yo, he
no.
got me hyped for that. The way
Honestly,
he did
Jim
it.
was funny as
But-
fuck in that interview too.
I do love that Jim keeps
was.
that swag, and he's just like that shit is on. That shit is on at all times.
Yeah.
Like he's just like. And
That's what I mean. That's exactly what I
He's
mean.
a salesman.
That's
what I mean. He's a
that
good- he's a good
that type
talker.
of New Yorker is not around anymore.
That's Harlem.
Cheddie, and I
But,
feel like he
it's
got.
Queens too, in a
Nah,
sense
it
of like,
definitely
yo,
is.
we don't back down either, though.
Now we
You
don't back
understand what
down,
I'm
but
saying?
Harlem has that like
Right, they'll shoot the dozens with you and shit.
they just
I
have a
get
different
you.
way of
Nah,
speaking.
you're not comparing any other place in New York to the Harlem swag. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not
and
the
I hate
Harlem,
that word.
Not the Harlem swag, but the fact that like, yo, we're up as New Yorkers, all 5 boroughs.
Nah,
You're just,
Queens
like-
is ill.
Everybody's
you're
up
just
for
with
beef.
you're just with
Yeah.
the shits.
Yeah,
You're
but
always
But,
with the shits.
but I know what he means.
as opposed
Yeah.
to somebody from I didn't want to say Toronto, but like people in Canada are really nice, and they'd be the type to be like, oh,
Hey.
you know,
They're
you know,
really nice,
we can all get
Shout out to
along.
Belly.
We can all get along. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if not, it's facts. Everything is everything you're saying is
But
facts.
talking about Jim Jones, I feel like he's gotten better with time.
His music's gotten a lot better.
He has.
Yeah,
That motherfucker's on a
Yeah.
tear,
So,
Yeah,
B.
so when I heard
Jim
him,
is nice.
when I heard him going after Conway, and then I heard the end of what he said, I was like, okay, it's not beef.
No, it wasn't.
he
No,
was-
it's competition.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
He was
friendly,
like,
it's good
yo,
competition.
I never saw it as
It's
beef.
respect,
I
it's
just know
competition.
he's not going bar for the way he
He's
made
not.
it look like it's gonna be like some
At
bar
first,
shit.
right?
The way he
Yeah.
said we're gonna get in the ring, like when you say you're gonna get in the ring with somebody, it means that you're gonna outspit them. And I'm like, Conway.
Yeah. And then, but at the end, he's
It'll
like,
be
yo,
fun.
he's one of my
It would.
favorite artists, and I respect him a lot.
Yeah.
And then,
He's not gonna embarrass himself either.
and I saw Conway's
Because Jimmy
IG,
can make songs.
Exactly.
and he was like, yo, I'm over here minding my business.
Yeah.
And this nigga Jim Jones, but then I kept reading,
Yeah.
and he was like, some friendly shit.
It's love.
It's
it
a
was
friendly
love. Yeah,
spar.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
a friendly
love.
spar.
Yeah.
And that's what we need in him.
Yeah,
No, it is.
that's
We-
amazing in hip
But
hop
we've,
because people
but
usually
we've been
beef over
trained.
stupid
I don't
shit.
like
we've been
friendly
trained
spars.
to, yo, it has to be all right. Like now, it's
Def?
like
I'm gonna come for your moms.
After we battle each other, we can't be in the same club.
Yeah.
We can't be in the same state without checking in.
Facts.
Like it's become that. So
That's what hip hop was born through.
Well, I think
Tupac and Big,
I
fucking
saw-
50
yeah.
and Job.
Yeah,
But there was a good
It's also-
interview
Jay
about
Nas.
that's
Yeah.
Cannabis's original intent with his shit with
we always go back to that.
But
Yeah,
this is
it's the
true.
truth. Yeah,
His
yeah.
original intent was just, I want a rap battle. I don't want to
Yeah.
fucking go into all this crazy retarded
Yeah.
shit. Wyclef was talking about the story.
But
he's like,
it is-
LL just, his ego was too inflamed
Which it still
to take
is.
it that way.
But it's like Floyd doesn't want to fight a guy who's 1-0.
Yeah.
And that's what
Yeah.
at LL's head in his mind
that?
at that time.
No, I get
was
that.
That's a
I'm
great
not gonna
comparison.
because
It is.
because
I get that.
all it takes is for him to knock me out, and then I'm like, holy shit!
I even
my,
a knockdown.
my shit, right, that too, right. That if I get knocked down, I'm fucked.
Which might
you
be
know?
true, but then
Pause.
you have a lot of the greatest rappers who, for whatever reason, they will pick up beefs that were like way smaller anyway. You know what I mean? Like Jay.
I don't think
beef with-
anybody's
Like,
ever
what do you
beat
mean?
Nas.
Huh?
I don't think anybody's ever beat Nas.
In rap battle?
Ever coming at Nas.
I'm not even saying that. I'm saying like they actually had time for people who were not that big of rappers.
I fuck with you.
Who were not that big rappers. Like Jay was beefing. I always say
With Mino.
Mino
Cheddie's like,
from
who?
Harlem World.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
The fat guy
shoot your
getting
fat
shot
out
out the
of cannons
cannon.
before.
Yeah.
He was beefing with Jazzo when
Yeah.
Jazzo was like nothing. You know what I mean? Like he had everybody in Rockefeller make a
40
verse
years old,
for him. Yeah,
Johnny.
exactly.
But what made Jay's takeover great, and we always go back to this. This
ballerina
debate
shit?
is that like it's the fact that like everybody taking shots at Jigga, y'all only get half a bar. Fuck y'all niggas.
Yeah, facts.
And it was dope because it was J.O. Felony.
Yes.
I remember kids coming up to me in school being like, "Yo, you heard J.O. Felony said he'll punch Jay-Z in his fat ass
This
lips."
guy right here.
And I
to
was
me.
just like, and I was like, and you know what I mean? It's like, and?
this guy.
Gio Felony's a real gangster.
Yeah, he used to like that nigga's a real nigga.
Yeah.
He's a crip.
Yeah, he's a crip.
Jay better watch his back.
It was a crip. It was a crip that used to tell me that too in school. Eddie Cologne ass nigga.
Oh, my God,
He
yo.
was the
We-
worst. He was the worst.
We make memes off of that guy. he was
Yo,
just
dogs.
a
We started telling people that you acting like an Eddie Cologne ass
Yeah,
nigga. It was
man.
bad. Yeah.
Yo, can I jump back into the
I'm
thing
sorry
real
about
quick?
that,
No,
yeah.
you don't have to apologize at all, man. I'm just saying. I was thinking right now, like, yo, I understand why Usher would be like, I guess a little bit like a
hater.
hater towards it because, yo, Usher is a talented ass
got
dude.
herpes?
Maybe.
Oh, I heard that.
Why you got to do that for?
Yo, I got foot herpes.
Nah.
Why you gotta shit? Why you gotta shit on T-Pain for it, dog?
No,
If
no,
you don't got
I-
nothing nice to say. Don't say it at
No,
all.
I hear you.
No, what Josh saying is exactly what I think is
Yeah,
well.
no, Usher is a talented ass dude. Like he's a real singer. Like
Dancing.
he probably felt like Autotune and all of that is kind of getting in the way of him because you know what? When you're that talented, you could be that talented but still not be making hits. How many people are talented and they don't really come out and making hits and shit like that?
Because he don't write.
Was Usher,
Exactly. Usher don't write.
Usher
So
don't
it's like,
write.
yo,
Well, you're
my
not a
voice.
writer. You're not in control of your hits.
Right, because
on some Britney Spears shit.
Jermaine
Yeah.
Dupri got to give him those hits.
Yeah.
Jermaine Dupri was giving
Exactly.
him My Way and
Facts.
Nice and Slow.
Yo,
Facts.
so think about it. You got a fucking what's this kid? I love him. Black.
Yeah.
6 Lack, right?
The beast.
He ain't a singer.
He's a beast. He's a
But
writer.
shit like that allowed that lane. Auto-tune allowed the lane for crooners.
Because
That's
now you
facts.
can like fix up your voice a little. Look at Travis
Yeah.
Scott.
Exactly.
Travis Scott harmonizes
A lot of
and
ways,
stuff like
yeah.
that. Yeah, a lot of
Exactly.
ways. Yeah.
And I think
And it's
Usher
music to ride out
was
J.
Usher
Cole
felt a
singing.
little. He felt a little threatened by like the new wave.
Yeah, exactly.
By the Autotune
I agree. Yeah,
wave.
Yeah,
exactly.
because my
Exactly.
voice can't back me up anymore.
Exactly.
I
Need
just can't be
more.
the illest singer up in this bitch. Dudes that don't sing are making better singing
And
songs.
T-Pain's
than
a
me.
writer too, right?
That's why, because his writing was
his
better than what
writing,
anything Usher was going to
singing.
put out as far as a singer. His voice might have been
You
better,
think
but like
Usher-
his songs weren't as
they were,
good.
they were on a flight. You think Usher was flying to meet Jay to do Hollywood?
What do you mean?
Don't answer that
Expound
question.
on that, yeah.
Leave that shit alone. nigga.
Yeah, that song right there. That's the song I was telling you right there.
We're never talking
Oh,
about
no,
that
it wasn't
song.
the song I was talking about. The song I was talking about was Anything.
Oh no, Hollywood was with
Beyonce.
Sorry,
Even
sorry,
worse.
sorry.
It's on the same album.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about
Those
that.
are the two worst songs of the album.
Those are
Let's-
the two bad songs.
Let's not go back there. But
They're
anyway,
terrible. That's Jay's worst song ever.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that. Okay. Nah.
My bad. I don't want to
I'm
give
in the
Chris.
loop.
I don't want to
Yo,
give Chris
dog, a
ammunition.
spade
Don't
is
get
a
me
spade.
I
started.
don't give Chris
A
ammunition.
spade is a spade. I want you to show. I want to show you that I'm not biased.
hold
A
on.
spade
a
is a
second.
spade.
How did you set up these questions?
That Jay-Z had one bad song.
Talk about it.
Cheddie's confused the shit out. of me.
Nah, he did it on purpose.
No, because it goes like there's a little segment thrown here, but then the other one on top ties into the shit beforehand, right? So like, same question, same question for sports teams. What if your child doesn't cheer for your team? Why would you throw this T-Pain shit in the mix?
Oh, no, I get it,
yeah,
I get it.
It was filler.
I get it.
But
No,
yeah,
no, no.
what are you talking
I get why. I get why.
Yeah,
I get
what
why. I
is
get
it?
why. It's not even that. I get why.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna get into it, but I get why.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it afterwards. Whatever.
Yeah.
So you cool with Jonah just being a Yankee fan?
No,
All right,
absolutely.
that's
not.
all I need to know.
I'm sorry to say that. I wish I wasn't that way, but that would not happen.
You cool with your son being a Mets fan?
I don't care.
That's a beautiful thing.
And this is why I tell you because the Mets have broken my heart for
Oh, wait, you're a Mets fan.
20 years. Yes.
Oh, you got a Yankee hat on. Okay, so you're a
Nah,
good
it
guy.
happens. They play by different rules. People play. By different
I
rules.
don't live by those rules.
Right now, I'm a free agent. I'm a free agent.
Yeah, nah.
You know,
that don't work.
I still I see Met games and everything. I see Yankee games.
Yo, dogs, you used to watch like all 162 of them shits. I mean,
Yo,
every
me
time I go
too,
to your
dog.
crib, it was always on TV.
It was
so-
always Mets. It was always fucking Mets. I was always at the games. Yo, back in the day, you could have Met games
2006?
with
And you gonna just quit on them?
2006.
I'm around.
I love pain.
Yeah, word. You gotta accept the pain, man. You gotta loyalty, man.
What if your godson?
For how long?
Well, let me ask you this. What if your godson?
They don't deserve me, King. They don't deserve me.
Let's not use
My
that
heart
term.
belongs to a new one now.
What if your godson in DR decides to be a Mets fan? You gonna be excited? Cheddie son, the one he doesn't
I'll rock
claim.
with him. I'll rock with him.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yo,
Cheddie son.
Cheddie, I know you don't claim him, but if he's a
Mijo.
Mets fan, you gonna be
Mijo.
tight.
Yeah, I think
Mijo.
they wish me a happy Father's Day.
Cheddar.
Yo, happy Father's Day,
His name
Cheddie.
is Cheddar.
His name is Mijo Cheddie.
Miho Cheddie. That would be amazing, man. You should stick to that.
No, I think when I do have children, if I do have children,
You do have one.
I think the Giants is the only team that I won't let Mijo. Like Mijo has to fucking
Yo, you
go
gotta
for
name
him.
that son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like I love the Giants. Like it's just there's no turning back.
Yeah.
If you wanted to be another, I love the Yankees, but like if you wanted to be another team,
Well, nobody takes baseball serious.
I don't see him. But that's another thing too. Like I love baseball. You like baseball.
I love
Josh.
baseball,
Yeah,
too. I love
Chris,
it.
you like baseball as well too. Except when the Mets break your heart.
I know.
So I think it would be
We're in first place, man.
yeah.
Well, we're the
Because
best team in
I would
now.
I would be a hypocrite to tell him
To me.
Yeah, you got it. Like whatever basketball team I end up
Josh,
liking
the
at
injuries are piling up.
We're still in first place, but like I don't know how many games.
if I was to tell him, oh, you got to like a basketball team, like one basketball team, I'd be a hypocrite because I've jumped to every team that LeBron went to. So, and he's not going to root
Well,
for
that's
Bronny.
different. Yeah, you can't.
Bronny and LeBron are two different people.
NBA is just a different way to root for.
This
teams.
is a public
That's why I don't
service
fuck with it.
announcement. Nobody come to me and say, oh, you're going to be a fan of Bron. He's not LeBron.
Yeah,
It's
he's
two
not
different guys.
LeBron.
It's two different guys.
Yeah,
You know what
unfortunately. I mean,
don't-
maybe
I don't root-
Blanket ain't fucking Michael.
I don't root for the whole. Yo, thank you. I'm gonna use that shit. You know what I'm
Blanket.
saying?
And I go, that's extreme.
Blanket isn't though.
And I know. That's like the most extreme example you,
You know
can
what
have
I'm
of
saying?
father-son type shit. Yeah.
Sorry. It's
You
what
know
came to
Blanket,
mind.
right? Michael Jackson's son?
Yo,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. That's
Yo,
such a weird
Diego
name.
is definitely picking up Adonis's book when he
Yeah,
writes
yeah.
his book.
No question.
Or when he makes a movie.
Yo, shout out to Pusha for making him a better dad.
Happy Father's Day. Great.
How did we get there?
Trying to skip out. You
That's
were
a third Drake
talking-
reference. In the
That
show.
was rough. Right
Nah,
there.
yo, Drake got it. But
Yo, but shout out to Pusha for that, man. For real.
Josh,
you
he sent
making
me,
better dads out here.
Josh, he sent me this thing about the Jets play camp, and I was watching it yesterday on the TV. Minicamp. And Aubrey asked me that. She's like, why do you love this team so much? Like, what makes you, like, this don't make I looked at this
Hard to
team,
explain.
and all they do is lose. Talking about
Hard
the
to
Jets.
explain, yeah.
I was like,
Aye,
I
aye,
don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to explain.
Fan is short for fanatic.
It is.
Dog, and I seriously, I don't, like you said, like, that's the only thing that I'd be like, yo, Penelope's motherfucking bugging right now.
Yeah.
Being a motherfucking Patriots fan. Like, I would lose
Oh,
my
man,
shit.
yeah.
I mean, I probably wouldn't let her live it out. But
Nah, I was that. You know, what's funny. That was the point I was gonna make. I'm sorry, Chris, if you have to jump in here. But I was gonna say real quick.
that was hilarious.
The point I was gonna make too was like, yo, I actually like the competition in a way. So if my son was a Yankee fan or a Patriots fan, I would hate it, but I would also love to like debate him and have that competition. When we watch sports
he's
and
got to
shit.
be ready for that smoke.
Yeah, no
like
question.
when his team loses.
I put it on the line.
And like, cause I used to cry when my team
Bro,
lost.
I
and my
put it
dad
on the
would come
line.
in and just be like, they fucking suck.
Dog,
You know
I'm
what I
a
mean?
Knicks- I was a Knicks fan.
I'm not ready for the smoke if my team is the one losing.
But then if he comes to you,
I put it on the line.
Yo, you want to know what's funny?
I put it on the
Go
line.
fucking cut the grass.
Yeah.
How about that?
Exactly.
How about that?
I probably
Yeah, but
would
what
do
if
that.
she's like, no problem, loser?
Then I'm like,
Fuck
alright.
Jets.
Or what if she?
I'd
Or what
be
if she
like,
puts?
alright,
Or what if she puts
whatever, man.
Pat's #1 in the grass?
Nah,
God damn.
you making me
Yo.
sweat, dude.
Yo, my dad wrote my mom's name in the grass one time. I know a random story, goddamn it. But then, and my mom came through. She's like, "The fuck you did that for?" She was
She didn't
like,
fuck does
appreciate
he
it.
want
It's
tonight?
She didn't even appreciate it.
It's because he was drinking and shit. He was like off the Johnny, off the
He
Blue
trying to get
Mountain.
brownie points, man. That's smart, man.
Oh man, I threw y'all off. My
Nah.
bad.
I actually want you to speak on what you feel like if your son or daughter, since you have twins, obviously, if either one of them were to root for any of your, are you that strongly like about your teams or anything like that?
Well,
I got a good one
That's
for you
fine,
too.
baby.
But go ahead. I want to hear. Go ahead.
I used to be, but then after a while, I'm just like, the Mets keep losing. God damn it!
You're throwing,
That's the
throwing a
wrong
lot of
team
dirt
to
on my
use.
team's
I'm
name,
sorry,
man.
man.
So-
Don't get me wrong.
What's your football
We
team?
just made the World Series a couple
I'm a
years ago,
Giant
man.
fan.
Okay, so what if she was just like against the Giants?
If she was,
Well, he's a Cowboys
I have
fan.
a lot of pictures
Cowboys,
with you
man.
with just paraphernalia.
It's
on.
the Cowboys, man. It's like,
and I've been to a lot of Jets. I like all New York teams.
Oh,
like
he's
I
that
go
guy.
for all them.
He's that guy.
Except the, you know what's
that
funny?
guy.
Except the Yankees. But I rock the Yankees. I do rock Yankees
Fair.
attire.
yo, I actually saw it the other day. I saw like the half Met Yankee hat. I'm like, yo, how
No,
can somebody do
no.
that?
Oh my
Wait,
God!
what?
Yeah,
The half
somebody
Met,
was wearing
half
that
Yankee
shit,
hat. I'm like, yo, dog, grow
you
some
gotta-
balls and pick a side, man. You
Yeah,
know
you
what I mean?
gotta
Like, if
pick a side.
if you're gonna rock a
dude. Nah,
hat,
just give up life.
Since Chris has no team, I have a question for you. What happens in the year 2040? Because that's when we're going to allow Penelope to date.
Fact,
If
though.
she dates into a family that's a die-hard Patriots family.
Nothing.
No?
Nah, she knows better.
she knows better.
It won't happen.
The moment they're like on date number 2 and she's like, man, fucking
This guy's
Jets,
a piece of
man.
shit.
Jets got me
This
going
guy's a
crazy. And
piece
he's
of
like,
shit.
you're a Jets fan? My whole family's Patriots. Bye. That's all
Tom
it's gonna be. Nah, yo, that's a
Jack.
good question, dude. Honestly, I don't think I would accept it. I don't think I'd allow him in the house. I don't think I'd fuck with him like that.
You crazy, son. I like the competition, man.
Nah, I'll just show my kid over some shit like
Yo,
that.
my dad was a Spurs fan. My dad was never. He was a Met fan. In football, he was a Raiders fan. My dad used to shit talk me about all sports though, except for the Mets. But he used to shit talk me about all sports, and it was like it made
Your
friendly
dad
competition.
just like fucking black and silver.
I'm about to
That
say,
might be
your dad,
true.
Your dad like the colors that he wears all
that
the
might
time
be
when
true.
I see him.
Okay, that might be true. But he does
Silver chain,
that,
black ups.
That's been consistent since the '80s. Like he loves George Gervin. You know what I mean, with the Spurs and shit like that. That's why he says that he loves the Spurs.
But guys, all
Yo.
jokes
I mean,
aside,
that's Spurs. I'm talking about Spurs. Yeah, actually.
all jokes aside, in the last few years, I don't take sports as strongly as I used to.
Yeah, he said the
So
same thing. though,
Yeah,
in a
so
way,
that's why
except for the Jets.
I speak the way I
And
am.
that's why my niece asked me that, because I don't know why. Like, the Mets, like, all right, cool, whatever, man, it is what it is. Timberwolves, still love my team. I'm not going to vote for anybody else. But it's like, all right, y'all lose. The Jets, dude, I get depressed. I get in a bad mood. Josh will tell you, I almost didn't want to talk to Joshy all season long. He would hit me up like, yo, but we might do, I don't care what we do. We need to win.
Yeah, yo,
Like,
dog, I was like, yo, we need to lose every game. We need to lose every game to get Trevor Lawrence. He's like, nah, dog. If we lose every game, I'm done being a Jets fan.
I was done.
He's like, that was it.
And I don't
and
know
we won,
all the time.
we won one game, he was celebrating. I was like, yo, you're fucking.
It's funny that you bring up the Timberwolves again because I was watching the last episode and y'all went all the right and you wanted to get the hat, the Timberwolves. And I think my man's right here was like, hell no.
Your dog, it's a rule. You don't care.
No basketball hats.
No basketball hats, man.
It's the first thing that came out. And today he sent me a fire-ass Timberwolves hat that I think the whole NBA is talking about getting.
Yo, let me know.
I don't know if I made that up.
I think it was Hat Club. I don't think it was something like that. It might have been Hat Club. Shout out to them.
I just know the color scheme was crazy. Cheddie's definitely going to rock it with something.
It had purple in it. That's your favorite color, too, right?
Exactly. Best color on earth, man.
Exactly.
Color of royalty. Ladies and ugly, man.
I want to speak one more topic.
I got to top that part out then.
All right, cool. They have that football player, Ryan Nassib. You want to...
No, we don't want to.
Y'all can talk whatever y'all want. It shouldn't make a difference to me.
I didn't want to talk about it.
You want to talk about it?
It was filler.
All right.
It was filler.
That's an important-ass topic.
It
Let
is
me tell you
important.
this.
All right.
Yo, what about the all the right though?
Especially that it's football. Especially it's football.
Yeah, that's why I'm wearing these, which are variants of the AJ1s. Wait, what do you guys feel about that? I feel like every fucking person I've seen now is trying to make their own. Ever since that whole list of how to do it, they're trying to make their own fucking Jordans.
I'm going to tell you a couple of things. Ever since we've been releasing our shows, now Wale's calling himself the GOAT. You trying to tell me motherfuckers ain't listen to our show?
Yo, Steph, you're wrong.
I'm just
facts.
bringing up.
That's Steph Grout.
We heard some.
It's getting around. It has to be getting around.
It has to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A couple of things that we've said, we seen Justin LeBoy like
Facts.
start shit, but like indirectly saying our stuff.
Facts.
Well,
And I'm
he's
just kinda
connected to
like-
Josh. So
He's more connected to Hanson. But yeah, in our family, he's kind of like,
so
he's
he
accepted.
reads our tweets.
So they're watching.
He's cousins of cousins.
They're
Let's say
watching.
that.
They're not reading Josh's tweets.
Yeah, they're not reading my. They're definitely reading
SoundCloud.
Oh man.
They listen to my SoundCloud. He said.
Yo, Chris, thanks for being on the show, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
thank you,
appreciate it. I
man.
had
Yo,
a great
This is a good
with y'all,
time.
man.
This is a good time.
And if
It's our Dominican Fathers episode.
okay, orale.
Like it.
You still got a little champagne left?
I have a little champagne left here for you.
Hey, why not? Man?
Champagne.
Yo,
Hey,
but real
enough for a
quick,
toast.
I know we're about to finish up, but
Yeah.
that All the Right episode, man, it was official.
Thank you.
Thank
man.
you, man.
And
Thank
the
you.
reason why I loved it so much is because I'm from Corona, Queens, and
Facts.
I used to go to All the Right on the reg.
Yeah.
That's
I
fire.
used to get my hair braided. I used to get my shape ups from there.
Everything was there, dude. That little
You
segment
said your
right
hair
there.
braided
So-
too, there, right?
With Marlene.
Marlene
braided my
You know
hair.
So
Mar-
they, they had it upstairs.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then they had it downstairs where they just sell clothes,
Yeah.
too.
Moonshine used to be there. Josh.
Yeah. you know Moonshine? Yeah,
So
you know Moonshine.
Moonshine
Exactly,
was one
yeah.
of the first like musical dudes.
Producer.
Like, I was introduced
He was nice.
to.
He was nice. Yeah.
He was real good.
Yeah.
I remember.
He used to hide samples from Buddha.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious,
What
son.
do you mean?
Buddha
Can-
wrote
can-
that
yo,
nigga.
can-
Our
yo,
cousin
can you say the
Buddha.
story? Can you say it real
All
quick?
right,
Just
so
real quick.
our cousin Buddha decided to produce. He bought an MPC and
He
whatnot.
decided to produce. That's how
He
he started
decided to
it.
produce because all he would do is jack samples and put one drum loop over it. So he started producing, and then one day he's at Moonshine, and Moonshine's playing like samples or whatever, and Buddha's like, "Yo, what sample is that?" Moonshine's like, nothing. Nah, this is just like some old record." And he like literally covered the shit so Buddha wouldn't see who the artist was.
And Bruce,
But why though? What
Yeah.
the fuck?
That's how producers are, man. Some shit like, yo, maybe you're gonna take the same sample, try to do the same shit I'm trying to do.
I mean, it's always gonna sound different.
I
you
agree
know?
with you.
There's just so
But
many
some
agree with
components.
you. But some people
people
really be on
aren't
some shit
ready
like
for
that.
that. You know what I
And
mean?
nowadays you can get a sample from anywhere, so it really makes it no difference.
But you gotta remember, this is the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like to find, you had to really dig through records to
And
add
the heat makers are popping.
Yeah,
Heat
Damn,
makers.
man.
shout out to
Nah,
heat
man,
makers.
but yo, official. That was a great.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I feel.
And it hit close to home because shit, I'm from Corona.
I was gonna
like
say I
said.
feel the same way.
no,
like
seeing
I,
their
yo, it
progress
mattered a lot.
is
Yeah,
fucking wild to
it
me.
mattered a lot
yeah.
to me too.
Because they're literally now a staple in Queens. Forget about just Corona in Queens, bringing like Cheddie said, shit that before you would have to go to the city for.
Yeah.
No more. Like they got the drops, they got certain things going on. Yo, shout out to the camp out, Mike. Like
Yeah, shout out
Yeah,
Mike,
absolutely.
man.
Shout out Mike, man.
awesome
episode last
episode.
He
We're
did his
definitely
thing,
gonna
man.
have him back. Like
Yeah.
he was just on point, and he was funny, man.
Yeah, he was.
I really had a good time with Mike.
Definitely
He's quick with it. He's
Definitely
like
a
real
natural.
witty.
Yeah, yeah.
He's good. He's a good talker.
Shout out to all the people that support us. Shout out to Queen's Bully. Shout out to Tulip.
Yo, Sue.
Shout out to
Sue.
On facts, on
Sue,
facts.
I heard you downloaded the YouTube app and fucking signed the premium just to watch our show on
That
the
was fire.
plane.
That was fire.
Man,
Yeah.
thanks for plugging us in with everybody. 718 They Ladies and Ugly Men is 718// day. Follow them on Instagram. It's going to be lit. We're going to be there. We're going to be doing interviews. We're going to be shooting a podcast from there. We're going to have our Purple Cups of Champagne hats. Thanks to all the writers going to be there. Mikey's Ice Cream is going to be doing the Purple Cups flavor that day. Sue's going to be giving out.
You got a lot of people on the hook for shit. Yo.
Yo,
It's
Queen's
not happening that day,
Bully's gonna
though.
have
Oh,
the
my
purple drink that day. It's gonna be a purple affair. So enjoy it,
God.
man. Purple Cups of Champagne.
Chris,
We're
you
coming
want to
through.
shout out?
Absolutely.
Erupt.
You know?
Yo, and y'all can go check out the Hip Hop Advocates. Check us out on IG. Check us out on
Absolutely.
YouTube. We're all family over here. So, man,
Wait, is it at the Hip Hop Advocates or at Hip Hop Advocates?
with the.
Okay,
Okay, perfect.
so
perfect.
at the Hip
Shout
Hop
out to
Advocates.
Erupt. Shout out to John Figs and Reels, yo.
A- Any new
Oh,
projects
yeah,
coming
man.
out on your end, on you guys? Any songs you working on for the summer? Anything?
You know what? We do have a 6-song project coming out.
Fire.
We don't have
Heard it here second.
Yeah, it's not titled yet, but it's gonna be awesome, man. We got some videos coming up too.
Amazing, man. That's
Could
fire.
you guys call it the Purple Mix?
The Purple Mix.
Nah.
We might mention it in one of the songs. yo, maybe we could do a collab.
That'd be
goddammit.
ill.
You
Nah,
sing,
fact,
That'd be
you
ill.
rhyme.
That'd be ill.
Do you-
I haven't spit in such a long time, man.
This guy right here, though.
I could bring
Yo,
Cherry Valley.
Cherry Valley?
Nah, nigga, you don't have to. You don't have to
bring
co-sign me.
Cherry
I'm a fucking
I'm
nasty
not
spitter,
co-signing.
but
you. It's
I
not
haven't
even
done it in
that.
a while.
It's not. Forget the spitting part. Like I'm the best spitter in the family. Joshy just had this whole fucking Alexa. You too. No, like I'm better than Alexa.
I know what you mean. But you're-
No, because he might think like, yeah, he's the best spitter too. Like, no, you're not. I got you, fam. I'll put you all you niggas in the bag. But nah, Joshy, dude, song format. Like I hate bigging him up because I don't want to sound like a homer, but there was a tear. Like Faid will tell you where Joshy was just
I appreciate
Going
that,
in?
man.
in the zone.
I appreciate that,
Yo,
bro.
I felt like listening to like subpar me music, and it was just dope.
Subpar me.
Yo, let's get in the booth, fellas. Let's get in the
Nah,
booth.
it's facts.
man.
So
facts.
I put this shit together, so I need a production credit on that.
You
fucking
absolutely
song.
no question, dog.
1,000%. I
No
got y'all
question.
niggas in the room.
Yeah, no question, dog.
bridge.
No question.
For real.
And I learned what the bridge is
You
today.
gotta do like Buddha. Yeah, we had Buddha in the studio one time. It was like the clouds
Oh my
move. So the clouds. Move. I'm like, yo, Buddha, what are you doing, dog?
Yo, the dude caught like a panic attack.
Yeah, he started
Like,
just talking like
he froze.
real
So we had
low.
this hook, right? And it was supposed to be like Cheddie. Who came up with the
I
Nick
came
Howard,
with,
right?
Nah, I came with the hook.
Oh,
I
the clouds move. It was like this
fog
whole
clears.
thing, right?
I know where I want to be. That's right here.
Yeah, Buddha
Shit
was
like
like-
that. And Buddha's like, the clouds move. The fog cleared.
Not even. So
Yeah.
you're giving too much credit.
Probably.
He
I was
was
like,
at,
yo,
at
because
this
he kept
level.
on- he
Sounds
kept
like
on
doing?
carrying it.
No, he was
dog.
nervous. He was like, the clouds move, the fog clears. This is my right. And Nick is
Yeah, we
like,
just quit. We just quit.
the
Like after like
engineer
3
was
takes,
like,
we're like,
what
all
are
right,
you
just forget
doing?
it. Just forget.
Damn, man.
Forget
So
it.
y'all gave him a verse to spit.
We wanted him to layer like on the hook,
We
like
needed-
mad voices layered on it, and
the
shit like
bottom
that.
drop. Just a
Gotcha,
little drop at
gotcha,
the bottom
gotcha,
with
It
him.
sounds
doing
like
the
he was
extra verse.
narrating a book.
That's exactly what he sounded like.
Apparently,
That's exactly what he sounded like.
a
for
book
real.
for
A
ants.
boring book.
book for ants.
Please use Ali to lay something down.
Yo, I'll be
It's
yo.
a business.
Yeah.
Man, we got to give him auto tune, dude, because
Yeah,
Ali
facts.
will be definitely off.
That'd be
I can't
ill.
understand what he's saying in English.
That would be ill.
All
I'm not
right,
gonna
let's
lie to
bring
you.
it in.
Cheers, guys. Good
Ladies
good
and gentlemen,
episode.
Thank you for joining us.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy
Thank
birthday,
you,
Chris.
guys. Thank you,
Blame
man.
him about-
Shout out to you, man.
More life. More life.